on television. Spoon radio station. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kepa, congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibaba, 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 kilibaba. What I want? Yes, what you got today? Spoon TV. Yes, what you got today? Spoon TV. Spoon Bala. Skiddy Dabado. Spoon TV. Spoon Entertainment. Go to there. Go to there. On the spoon. Yes, I information. On the spoon. To be
From the CEO standing with the spoon. And your boy, right in the South Bend. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon. To get your information. To the spoon, to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon.
Do you bluff me?
You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon.
Okay, folks, I'd like to say welcome to all of you across Liberia. Welcome to another edition of the program Spoon Talk. This is the show that gives you authentic information from across Liberia. And I'd like to say welcome to those of you who have joined us by means of radio, Spoon 107.5 FM. Fabric 101.1 FM, or to those of you following by means of Super 95.5 FM and the different streaming platforms online, Spoon TV Live, Fabric TV Live, and of course Super TV Live. Welcome. My name is Nelson Colette, and of course Dr. Richardson has joined us, and I have James here as well. Let me say good evening to you, Dr. Richardson, and good evening to James.
Good evening, Honorable Nelson Colette, and good evening to
I'm Honorable to Manio.
I tell you, Honorable.
Yeah, but good evening to you, James. I don't know whether Dr. Richardson is getting us.
Yes, I got you. I'm sorry, I was muted.
Yeah, we got you.
So you said you called in Nelson Honorable Nelson Colette?
Yeah, Honorable Nelson Colette.
Don't mind it, man.
Another honorable man.
How you guys doing today?
Yeah.
Good to hear. So you
Nelson, you getting us?
Yes.
Yeah.
You starting your new year okay? You're getting me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything is okay. Yeah. You loud, James, and Dr. Richardson, you're very clear as well.
Good. Yeah. Good. So how's Monrovia, Nelson?
Yeah. As things are, I think we are high spirited to know that we're in 2023, and from the political side, I think people are gearing up. Lots of conversations going on, but there has been some concerns, and quite recently, one of those concerns came from the chairman of the Unity Party, Reverend Luther Tappe, with respect to as to why, in fact, the National Elections Commission had to postpone, this entire registration process and everything. And he's expressing some concerns and cautioning the National Elections Commission that the peace of the country, to a larger extent, lies in how to go about conducting elections. The conduct of the election is very crucial to the peace of the country. And I think not just him, but some other, people have raised some concerns about that as well. And another thing that was on the news was this information about a 15-year-old girl by the name of Siva Hamon. According to report, she had gone to get a rechargeable light in the community, and then parents couldn't see her. They had to go after her to search and know what was happening. But then in the morning hour, her remain was found. She was found dead, and her family has been calling for justice and calling for other humanitarians and other organizations to come in to see to it that they get justice in this particular case. And so, yeah, and a lot more. Yeah, and I think the discussion will capture majority of the other happenings.
Sure. Thank you so much. James, would you like to add anything else? For once, you don't have nothing else to add? But that's okay.
Nothing much. We still following. So many things. Like what he said. That's just it.
Yeah. The case with that young lady is very concerning. I have a lot of noise. I'm sorry, George. The case of the young lady is very concerning. I had the opportunity to meet, two young women, and they brought up the case, and I could see how fearful they were when they were talking about it, in terms of how that young lady could have been them. I think they describe it as it's a charging booth or somewhere that she went to. Um, and it's just concerning. It's very sad, that a lot of young women could be easily traumatized by such a situation, thinking about their own life, and in a time frame where we should be thinking about how to improve your life, and you're thinking about, oh, I don't know if I'm even going to have a life tomorrow. So hopefully I hear that the police is investigating. Hopefully they will get to the bottom of it. If not, I'm sure we're gonna keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know why
Oh,
the year. I don't know why the year just begun with death. Yeah.
yeah, it's very sad, especially for a family to just begin your year with that, because this is a moment where you're supposed to be making your plans to carry out for the rest of the year, but then ends of that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. We have an air conditioner installed, and so that's what the background noise is all about.
Or
So yeah, so yeah, I'm sure you're hearing some noise. But it's all done now. It's just putting all of the boxes together. Um, we're getting used to Ego. I'm an Ego tourist here, getting used to it.
okay.
It's a dry season in Liberia, so it's it's really hot. Um, I think things have quieted down a little bit. All right, so let's go to welcoming our audience, our viewers tonight. If you're joining us by radio, social media, TV, we want to welcome you. We appreciate you being here. I hope that you are getting an awesome start to the beginning of your year. I hope that you are having moments of reflection, um, where you can, either keep things as it is, or make some changes, or make some plans to be the best you, living your best life. I want to welcome Lamimnu Kone. Kone is watching us from Town Hall Community, Painesville City. Councillor E. Thomas Livingstone Jr. is watching us from Kearsburg City. Joe Sa is also watching. Thank you very much, all of those who are watching the show. We appreciate you. It's a new year. Comment when you are enjoying what the panelists are saying. Give us your feedback. Hit the an emoji button. We appreciate it. Uh, Mush Muha A. Connie is watching from Gumpa. Jomowa Cully is watching. Joseph M. Jackson is watching. Welcome, Joseph. Lami Apia Lami is also watching from Sinka, 12th Street. Na Gordon is watching. And let me just carry this thing down, my thing down a little bit. Abel Woyi is watching. Samuel B. Johnson is watching from Fabric FM. Uh, what an interesting uh, thing to put there. Richard N. Myers is watching from Buchanan. Charles Chiku Asekanjibo Kawa. That's a long name, Charles. Charles is watching. Charles is watching us from. He just says Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Albert Tier is watching. He said my first program for 2023. Well, I hope we serve you well. I hope you like the program, considering it's your first program. Thank you for joining us, Albert. Can you help me because I'm kind of in the dark here. Alexander Clark is watching us. Emmanuel C. Blah is watching us from Good Intellectual Discourse. He said, from whom Good Intellectual Discourse. Wheeler Hard Boiler is watching. He said, "Hello, good day in the crew." Bully Wisdom Gibson says, "Greeting, Dr. Richardson. Greeting to you, Mr. Gibson." Jay Williams Yanti is also watching. Albertier, I said that already. Sarah Swat is watching. He said that we need to change. I think our date says 2022. Is there any flyer we got that says
No,
2022?
no, it's
as
okay.
opposed-
I just corrected it was the caption.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Robinson Mumbo is watching from GSA Road, Painesville. How are you? Othello Davis is watching. Rohata Koji is watching. Hi, Rabina, how are you? Okay, I will tell him. You say hello. I'm laughing. I'm sure you know why I'm laughing. Um, Elwood Justin is watching us. Jennifer Tukwa Roberts is also watching. Augustine Momokoli is watching from in EG Sumo is watching from India. Oh, got India in the house. Yay. Somebody's watching from India. Wata Gibson is watching from Sweden. I mean, I just like to see all of the places people are watching from. I get to watch you vicariously. James, you know something?
What is that?
You guys are big in Liberia. Did you guys y'all knew that, huh?
Yeah, today I even got information that you were having meeting with some
Oh
Sabbath
my God.
with some folks
That's
from
somebody
ENC.
from Facebook, right?
No, not from Facebook. I get people everywhere. When I'm talking about the ENC, people think that I just talk because I want to talk. As soon as you arrive for the meeting, they call me. They call me. They told me they say Dr. Richardson is here currently. You have meeting with young people today from the ENT.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You think they think I talk about the 50,000? I just wanted to talk.
I don't hear nothing about 50,000 story, but you know the inside story, so just let it be. You okay? I agree. That one that the call that you got, there's some high probability that it may have been true, but
yeah, you had a very serious meeting, and they even gave me some result from the meeting. And that part, you start in a good way. Yeah, it's good to bring the young people together, and I hope they will just go by what you told them.
Yeah, thank you, James. Yeah, it was a good meeting. There's some great young folks. I've been so opportune to meet a lot of wonderful, smart, brilliant, motivated young people in Liberia because that's all it's around. We got a lot of young people in Liberia. Unfortunately, the opportunities are very minimum in a way for enhancement. Compared to some other places. Well, you know what I'm talking about, James. You know what I'm saying, right? But all is good. We can be happy that God is minding many of our young people. That's one thing we can be happy for. But I was just saying to you guys, I just didn't. I realized that, but I don't realize how powerful, how influential I would say that Spoon is in Liberia. And one of the things I'm realizing I heard is the radio impact. So not so much of social media. A lot of people don't have the resources to be on social media. This social media is just for people in people in developing countries. But people like in Liberia, most people tend to listen to the radio, and so even when I'm not speaking, so they don't know my face, but that voice I hear is very powerful. I don't know my own voice. I know my voice sounds like, but like people, I would just speak and people would just say, we know who you are. So I'm humbled. At the same time, it's really interesting to see that dynamic of phenomenon play out. But like I said, you guys are big here in Liberia. Yeah, you guys knew that, right? It's not news. Nelson, you know that? Not news to you?
That news.
Ah,
Spoon,
yeah,
the
keep
Spoon
your
Network is big.
yeah. Many thanks to Stanton. I'm glad that you joining us, Stanton. Uh, because I was just telling James and Good Day how influential you are. Your network is in Liberia. Sometimes we take it for granted because in America, I'm in my little cocoon in my office. I come on, go day after day, go to sleep, and I don't worry about it. But here is huge. So welcome. I'm
Huge.
going to back to you, and
Thank you,
you
Dr.
can.
Richardson. It's huge. Thank you. That's fine. It's for the Liberian people.
I hear you.
No, I say it's for the Liberian folks. So we are blessed and humble. There are a
Yeah.
lot of Liberians can follow us. Well, you guys went to the house there. Y'all eating something? The noise from your background. Your
I'm
folks are
sorry.
talking.
Well,
Yeah.
we went to get an air conditioner today. Maybe that's the noise that you're hearing. But we good
Why?
now.
You want to get air condition? Why?
Because it's dry season.
Wow.
So, um,
Change.
Dr. Regency. Oh, okay. You talking to you? Go ahead. I wanted to ask.
No, they want to get air condition.
Yeah, she's there for some time. She's in Liberia for some time.
So if you go back to Liberia, you will need air condition, Jay.
Who?
You.
Who?
You need air condition with James.
If I get a money, I'll
I
get
beg you. I can listen. I can go in that country. I go right back to North Panton. I sleep in that zen hall. The only time I'll pray let it rain for the rain to hit the zen, I'll fall asleep.
But when no rain.
I'll stay for asleep. I'll take off my shirt and go like this. And you know how you can do it. You take off your shirt, you go like this. You fan yourself.
Sometimes you come, you get out in the night. When it heat too much, we used to get
And you
outside.
walk outside. You go under the plum tree.
Yeah.
You know, you walk outside, go under the plum tree, catch some cool air. And who knows? Some community thing will be around. Oh, let me mind my business.
I wanted to ask Dr. Regency about the limitation of social media in Liberia.
Well, where you from? You're not from Liberia because you don't spend 6 months away.
No, that's the question there.
What make
ANC
a
get many
question?
supporters on social media.
But leave up with the ANC thing, man. Don't get into the KEF thing with ANC.
I want to know from
Oh, man.
if
The
their
chief.
supporters are on social
Call the
media.
man the Saint Tomani Yewdo George, the friend to Samuel Twe, the special friend to President George Banneret Weah, the friend, the former sedition, inactive sedition, independent, the man that once leaned towards ANC but now pivoting to UP and doing the UP job. Let's welcome to the show the boy from Firestone, Lower McGibby. I want to say the only saint on the show. We heard that the Pope Benedict had passed. When would this saint go and sympathize with the Vatican? So, welcome to the show, Saint Tomani Yewdo George.
Welcome, everyone, and it's good to be back. James on Nelson, and that the reason she left, but she's coming back. I know, but it's good to be back, and to our viewers too. But you know, I've been watching this speaker election in America all day, and I was telling somebody just and people, I said, look, like in Liberia now, they think one long time. because in Liberia now,
Well, I see
this
that
speaker thing sort of awesome because.
they're trying not to get McCarthy though.
But yeah, the thing is, what happening? You probably got in a majority, slim majority, but they need 218 to get the speakership.
Yes.
But now
exactly.
the radicals got it from the Freedom Caucus. They every time they vote, they take 19 votes away from them. So the Democrat keeps winning 212, but he shot 6. So now, and the end goal is that they want McCarthy. They want somebody else to be speaker from
but they will get him.
He just got defeated on the second vote again. This time he dropped 203.
Oh, but let me tell myself around watch it too. But I think he will become speaker though.
No,
He
but
will.
if because they can't keep on this way. So at the end of the day, what do we end up doing? Leave the floor zero, gentlemen. Apparently they want you. So they find somebody else, a more moderate Republican, who believes the Democrat can work with, and we can get our team back. But we just don't want you. You see, first time in 100 years, this ain't happening.
Yeah, but you know what? They will get a situation taken care of. They just don't trust McCarthy. You got the Donald Trump folks that go in against him, and you know that's the way it is. We'll pray for the best. Whatever happens, it is what it is. But Sintoman and George, they sent on the show. I mean, what was happening? What the voices are saying? What from heaven? Thou shalt not watch. Sin. I know you're praying every day. You communicating to our Father, the Lord Jesus. But talk to us. What the voices are saying from Liberia? How you look at the situation? I will wait for the entire team. Then we'll go into the real conversation. Our sister Dr. Richardson went off. I think that's the internet. But Sintumane, before we welcome Kev Hassan, how's Liberia, man? What are you hearing? Day number 3.
I'm hearing about this Western cluster thing is getting people keep on information, and I'm also hearing that the lawmakers then all got 50 G for the Christmas to give to the people, and noise, hearing some noise behind it. Damn it, hey, Liberia country, 50,000. Yeah, what that country? Yeah, they got 50 G, and the people they share with the people, and they're noise behind already. And in the budget too, I think I know they get money for them to help with the campaign and so forth. But at the end of the day, like we were saying yesterday, the people need to be educated about the power of their vote, so they can make the right decision. And I saw today on one in a video, one guy, I think a lawmaker, he dedicated a hand pump, and to him a big thing. It should not be the hand pump, this stuff. Be about empowering the people, providing opportunities for jobs, for education, the health sector, so that they can for sustainability, not this short term thing you're giving them, and the thing that alter it. That's about we will discuss this, but that's what happened. And then also they are still talking. We're hearing about the Vera VP picks. People are still trying to cross carpet, doing different stuff. Discussion going on to see who will be the VP for Gonglo, for Cummings, for Boyka. We're still trying to find out who will be the VP, the picks, and then so we just monitoring and watching from afar.
Sentiment George, the man that's speaking and the man that hearing a lot of stuff. Trust him. Let's bring in Dr. Richardson, who now in Monrovia, Liberia. Dr. Richardson is representing the CPP. Whether CPP USA, ANC Global, I don't know. But Dr. Richardson is somewhere in Liberia. What are you hearing, man? What's on the ground?
Well, similarly, there's unconfirmed reports about the $50,000 that the lawmakers were given. Many are unhappy about it. There's also the death of a young man at the military barracks, the BTU. I believe that's where it happened. A lot of people are talking about
BTC, Barclay Trading Center.
Yes, there you go. Thank you for correcting me. And also, there was a lot of talk show issues going on today. I don't want us to talk about it. It was on. A lot of people are talking about that, but it's not important. Really not important. It was all on the radio today. They had a few, but our own Sam Jackson was on today on the talk show radio today. But besides that, we can explore additional information.
Well, you can share with us more, because some of us didn't listen to the talk shows. Now, you give us more.
But that's okay. She just did her intro. It's not important. I know. Listen, Dr. Richardson, thank you.
I didn't listen to the talk show.
Kefiko, your brother Sintomani is here. Once a sedition, always a sedition. This young man, Sintomani George, who are older than Sintomani, by the way, but you can believe it. It's up to you. But this young man, Sintomani George, one thing we should all consider: disenchanted sedition, inactive sedition, now independent, now leaning UP, Kev, if I say they just gave brand new 50,000 to all the lawmakers, I don't know where that story coming from though. He also said they just gave 50,000 when Mason again from another camp for another political party. I don't know whether that story is true. On top of the 70,000, he also said that excuse me, Dr. Richardson, we're talking to Kev. We bring Kev in. You're coming later. He also said, yeah. He also said he won't talk about Western Cluster, and a lot of stuff is happening in the country. Kev Hassan, what are you hearing, man, from the CDC position where you sit right now? What is interesting? What are you hearing from your camp and from Liberia?
Oh, well, let me say hi to everybody on the panel. I'm hearing the same thing about 50,000, but it's unconfirmed.
From which camp? Lawmakers or other political party? Which one of the 50,000?
Both. Okay. Both. I'm hearing the 50,000 from the Dr. Richardson camp. I see all of them shining. I don't know what happened. Shining ahead, and 50,000. Lawmaker, but it's unconfirmed report on the lawmaker. So we're still digging deeper on that one. But 50,000.
What's happening at your, from your area, CDC? What's the plan? What's going on?
Well, the CDC about 2 days ago, they a couple of days ago, if I get my days correct, the Youth League were out. I think the following day after Mr. Costa went to Liberia, the CDC Youth League were out there, doing the thing. And a lot of people calling me and says, "Ooh, this race looking like it will be a one-time race because there's not beside this anything going on." And again in Lofa, traction building up in Lofa. And I was saying this to somebody. I said, I hope people watching again, because the last time they said, "Oh, X, Y, and Z," but the CDC is in Lofa. There's something going on in Lofa. And I will repeat the same thing I said the last time. With what we're hearing in Lofa, November will be a good month. October will be a good month. October will be a good month. November will be a good month. Christmas will be good this year. What we're hearing coming from Lofa. So I'm just saying this in January, but folks will not listen now. Will something happen? They say, "Oh, this," but the CDC there, it there. So that's my interest. And let me just throw in. I wake up this morning. I slept early last night. By 2:30, I woke up. Turning around. And look on Facebook. I saw Dr. Richardson and Shani in Liberia. I said, "Oh, good." And then I will listen. I just understand. And
who you are muted, Kev? Did you mute yourself?
No. Oh, sorry. It was not a good day. It was not a good day. When I listened to OK FM this morning, it was not a good day for Mr. Costa today. What happening? What happening?
Well, Costa on the show and we're interviewing him.
I will ask somebody, since they always have meeting together, but it was not a good day for him.
Yeah, call your brother Costa, my man. But that
it was not a good day for Mr. Costa. So I think the whole Liberia trip turning.
So Liberia, that's where we are, and your party doing extremely well. And you think you can win the election the first round? Is that where we're going to? And in Lofa, you guys are making more gains, right?
Yeah. What's happening in Lofa right now? What I'm hearing happening in Lofa.
You believe that the country have turned around and everything is good. And first round, George Mano, we
Well,
with the election.
you're asking a very, very good question. If I believe everything is good, no, you believe everything is good. I believe that the people saying the vision where the country is heading to, now, versus where this government took the country from. So
Thank
they
you. Let's go to Salamatu.
seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Of
But
the tunnel.
again, I'm
Okay.
saying this again, CEO. I'm saying this in January. I'm saying this. Will happen in on October 10. I hope
Thank you.
somebody still. I want you to remember.
Okay. Salamatu. Kalamasi.
Yeah, hello.
How you
Greetings to
doing?
everybody. Doing good, excuse me. Um, it's interesting that the ruling party should be celebrating right now. If they want to celebrate, we're fine. We're the underdogs. We are still campaigning. If they feel that they will take the election in round one, I would love to see that happen this year. Two, as Kev was talking about, the people recognize the vision and they see what direction the country is heading. I'm kind of interested to know what direction is he seeing the country heading? Like, what is the good things that he's seeing from CDC perspective? Because when we look at it, there's still no jobs for a lot of the young people. They remain idle. Healthcare, there's still no healthcare. Governance structure has completely collapsed. There's no faith from the international partners in the government. So it would be interesting to hear like what he's seeing, because I would love to see it. We love Liberia. We want to see Liberia prosper. So it'd be great for him to tell us, where the jobs are coming, where they are. They might not tell where they're coming again, because they not tell plenty of time that jobs are coming. The Coastal Highway, the Bali village that they were building. So I just want to hear what he has to say. Because everybody I talk to in Liberia is the same thing. Regardless of party affiliation, people are still complaining. One of the guys that work with me, and this is somebody that, I look at him as my little brother. He was a big sedition. But by the time I remember Senator Dillon was running, he switched. He was already frustrated. So it would be nice to hear what direction the country is going in, because from the looks of it, we ain't seeing anything going in the right direction. It seems like we're going sideways, or we're not turning the car completely around and we're going behind. So
thank you, Salamatu. Thank you very much. So let me go back to our brother Kev Hassan. It's very important, Kev. I will give you time to tell us. You said this election is first round. All right. I don't know what talked about other issues, but you said this election, as you're hearing, seeing things, CDC win first round. Make your case, Kev.
I don't know where Salamatu won. We should talk about whether it's healthcare, the economy. You pick. You pick. It's up to you. But
you gotta adjust your camera, man. We're not seeing your face. You bending your head. And you have shame in front of Salamatu. You always go with her to eat at Mankan place. So
listen,
see, you let all kind of confusion.
When we look at the economy, we talk about macro stability.
Hey, now that English there, macro stability. That one for Economist Summit 12 book. Hey.
When you look at how the economy is stable from where the government took, just imagine 30% inflation to 7% to single digits. That's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Can't figure.
Simple. Simple. Simple.
Oh, man, we
Nobody
talking
can
to
be
you.
so serious talking.
We
Bro.
talking to you on the screen.
When,
Yeah, be
when,
too serious.
as we speak right now, the government owe no civil servant. That's stability there. Remember, this government is the only government since post-war on her own. You want to argue that, Salamatu? You want to argue? Because your government.
Wait. This government is the first. No, why he
Salamatu.
asked me? I won't get a question straight.
No, Salamatu. Let the man use his 2 minutes. We'll go around the table, please.
This government, I will repeat, since post-war, the only government without security to have international security with everything on her own. Because your government will never on her own. Even security, we have 17,000 troops. We have everything. We had NGOs them. They were there. So when the job over and they left, this government, the only government, argue that the 17,000 troops stay there to protect the country. Argue that. So when we look at how stable this country, the economy of this country, we know we're heading to the right direction under the leadership of this president. Argue that. Argue on healthcare that the Redemption Hospital is being built right now. New Redemption Hospital, not the old one. A lot of people think that the old one is fixing. No. New one. With 150 pediatric unit bed. 150 bed for pediatric unit. It that. Matter of fact, James went on that side before and took some. And
we gotta respect the time, Kev. We gotta look at the time, okay? I know we got a lot to talk. You're holding on healthcare and the economy.
We don't even have enough time to explain to you that we heading in the right direction.
So you're holding everyone. No, it's not about you and Salamatu, it's the entire show. On healthcare and on the economy, you say your government is doing extremely well.
Yes,
and
sir.
Therefore, based on those two things, you will come up with more stuff. But
Yes, sir.
CDC going to beat the opposition the first round.
Yes, sir.
Just what you said.
Yes, sir.
Before anybody can say anything, we take 5 calls from the Liberian people. Let's see whether they agree with you. Let's do something new today. All right? 5 calls only. And then we'll do a quick round and give the guy a chance. Kev, I think you're up number today, though. I pray that God can protect you tonight. Or maybe Ben will save you. You're about to be destroyed, Kev. But I'll tell you, you're about to be destroyed. Because I will try my best to defend you. I'm not into whose side would be or no. I'm neutral. But let's just
everybody got neutral except Kev and Dr. Richardson.
No. Don't say that. Don't say that time on the show. Don't say that time on the show.
I'm
independent. I'm neutral. I don't know about it.
I am not neutral.
What independent? But you know,
kids, man, they get independent, like bro.
I want to say, I'm talking about independent talk.
In opposition to independent. Dr. Richardson, let me bring you in. Kev laid something up. 2 things that we should stick on: healthcare and the economy. Based on those 2 points, Kev saying that CDC going to win the first round. They are making gains. He said they are in Lofa right now. His people are working. The youth chairman came out. They are in Monrovia. They are in Monserrado. They are working. Kept saying reason why this CDC government. That's why what any of you guys say on the show tonight, all 6 of you, he believed it's not second round victory. President George Bannum, we are first round. There will be no other money spent in second round. No negotiation in second round. This Kev Hassan believes today, everything he knows, CDC wins first round. Only 2 points, healthcare and the economy. Talk to us, Dr. Richardson.
I was in a conversation today where I was exploring what has George Weah done for Liberia. We can agree that he built is the key word here, the 14th hospital. He built Emirate Hospital in Bobolu. So, yeah, I think it's fair enough. Those are fair accomplishment of things that he obtained in these past couple of years. But I will not give him the economy as being something that he has accomplished simply because the economy affects and impacts healthcare, education, ability for someone to have a job. And we know those three things that I'm mentioning here, they're like Christmas light in a country. And you know what I mean, right? They're on and off. Kev told us, the government does, to even mention the government doesn't owe someone, the civil servant. That's not even an accomplishment. That should be a discouragement. The government that shouldn't even be a conversation that we should be having. So what is Kevin suggesting to us that, the payment of our civil servant is like Christmas light. Some months the government will prioritize that, like, we'll pay Christmas or because elections coming or whatever, and then we'll pay them. In other months, they will redirect the money, who know where, maybe in their pockets or to enrich themselves, I don't know. And then people won't get paid. And then the same thing. Some days you go to a government hospital, and again, I wrote a thing and a piece on a hospital. Building a hospital is not a hospital. A hospital involves a concert of administration, staff, medication, technicians, equipment. All of those things make a hospital. So when I hear someone celebrating just having a building, a new building, again, is that something that we should be celebrating? No. Okay, so I believe that these things are like Christmas light in the country, and it shouldn't be. Government's supposed to provide the stability that he mentioned. In his mind, getting paid sometimes and not getting paid, that's stability. In my mind, and many others, that's not stability.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson. Sentiment and George, healthcare, the economy. Kev Hassan saying they are riding high, they are making progress. A lot of gain on assignment where the economy is booming. There's no soldier being left back when you talk about payroll. Everybody got their Christmas money. They're happy. They are dancing. Come back here. Let's go. Is Kev right? Would this turn around be a victory, one round victory for CDC?
Most edition, like you heard, the youth chairman on New Year's Day saying it's a formality. October 10th is a formality. There will be one round victory. And it's unreal. It's not realistic. You take into consideration the promises that were made by this administration. Okay, I'll go back to the PAPDP. The PAPDP, that document that they ran on and said that they would take a million people out of poverty. The question was asked, and she didn't answer that question. How many people have been taken out of poverty? Okay, and another thing, how many jobs have been created by this administration? You got to ask all these questions. Okay, the Liberian people, the question will be asked: are your life better today than 6 years ago? The question will be asked, and you will see people who watch of media stuff. People go in the country, they're telling you that it's almost say I've been selling this thing here since the day I came here. I bought my goods. And because no money, people don't have money to buy, and so forth. And like for instance, a deal like Western Cluster D, they kind of bogus deal that they are being engaged in. They are selling Mattel D, stuff. The guys that bring people suffering. Oh, yeah, people are not. I mean, I'm benefiting from these deals. They're signing bogus deal. They are ratifying, signing. Yeah, the people are not benefiting from it. They are being insensitive to the people. They are betraying the people, the public trust that was imposed on them. So, as I said, it depends on the VP picks of the various candidates. And the tickets that when they get on the campaign, what would the case of Buckam and his VP make to the Liberian people? What would be the case of Cummings and his VP and Jawango and his VP will pitch to the people of Liberia? What would be the case to pitch to them? To tell the people really that, are you going to still question them? Also, too, the person he will carry on, he will go on the show and toot his accomplishment. He will tell them, I have the country safe. Yeah, I kept the country safe. No war, nothing came in the country. The army wasn't here, but I did it on my own. I built 2 hospitals for you guys and so forth. But that's it will be whether the CDC accomplished what it said in a development agenda, whether they accomplished anything from that agenda. So we'll wait and see the tickets, and then the debate will start. But that guys repeat, one of the main things they were holding accountable for those bogus deals that were signed, the Western Plus deal. That deal need to be reviewed. People need to put in Washington Post, go New York Times, publish it. Let the international community see that if people that have been treated so bad, publish the deal. They got to do it. Put it in the national press. Let people see it. Let people see that these people, and what the needs of those people involved, those people who are involved in these negotiations. What I need now, expose them, shame them. Thank you, man.
Thank you very much, Tomale. Yeah, thank you. We're just warming up, guys. We have enough time. Again, 2-1. Kev, 2-1. All right, Salamatu.
Yeah, let me just remind Kev that when on Mill actually withdrew from Liberia in 2016. So I don't understand what he's bragging about. Talking about the soldiers are there, the soldiers are there. They left in 2016. And under the previous administration, that was the first time in 10 years that Liberia has seen stability, consistent stability, peace and stability. So I don't know what he's talking about. Number 2, to piggyback on what Dr. Richardson is talking about, when we create these buildings and we do groundbreaking for it and we celebrate it, 14 military hospital. Salamata sitting here. I was one of the people who was responsible for calling various businesses and begging for materials to go inside the shell that the CDC government actually dedicated. They dedicated this beautiful building in the middle RIA highway. They took pictures, plaque in the papers. Within the shell of the building, there was hardly anything inside the building, beds or any equipment. Luckily for us, COVID came. So we were able to see just how people tend to dedicate shelves and celebrate it. When COVID came, I don't know if you guys remember one of the first COVID patient, he was on the phone live and he was stuck on a highway in the car. And he was there for hours. He kept saying he didn't know where he was. They were trying to staff and furnish the hospital for the guy to be able to go into. And me, Salamatu, sitting here, I'm telling you, I was one of the people. I was at the Chamber of Commerce and I got on the phone. We actually called businesses for them to donate mattresses, water, food, and equipment for that particular hospital. So when people sit here and talk about the shell and they have no plans to tell us where the doctors are coming from, where if the actual building has been equipped, that's not a celebration for the Liberian people. That's just something for people like Kev to come and celebrate and make it sound good. Okay, so number 2, even though the World Bank has discontinued the ease of doing business report, Liberia, where does Liberia stand on the ease of doing business in Liberia? On that indicator, out of 197 indicators, where do we rank? We rank at 175. 175. That means no investor, nobody wanting to do business, want to come into Liberia to do business, let alone the people who are on the ground trying to do business. They're not doing business. And it will be interesting to see all the numbers that he repeating from Minister Twe. It will be interesting to see how many people they have taken out of poverty, how many people they have employed as compared to who were employed and getting paid on time during the other administration and not waiting to go protest and complain and say, hey, we haven't gotten paid in 3 months. The civil servants are watching and they're listening. They may not be the ones jumping on the street and protesting, but I can guarantee you when they go to the ballots, they know when their paycheck been coming in, because there's nothing to celebrate when you haven't paid a man. When a man get up and go to work and you haven't paid him for 3, 4, 5 months, and then all of a sudden you jump up and give him money and you think he's happy with it. Just the other day, we're complaining about rice, we're complaining about gas, you know, and I think I spoke with you guys about the political commodities, those critical commodities. Are we paying attention again to it? Are we hosting those meetings with the business community? Are we sitting down and saying, you know what, we put a band-aid on something, we'll celebrate it. Now the people got rights to eat, so everything is a-okay with it. You know, I don't understand what we're celebrating when people are not.
So are you saying, I'm sorry to interrupt, so there will be no one round victory for CDC?
No, there will be no round one victory for CDC. And honestly, there will be no round one victory for anybody. So nobody should get that comfortable and think that they got it in the bag. Everybody better go out there and campaign.
Well, to each his own, Chairman Ben. Well, actually, somebody text me and say, I think you need to tap Kev a little bit on the side of his head that he should wake up. And I said, why? And I said, because why would Kev believe that CDC can win this election in the first round? But you hear what Kev said, to be fair to our brother. Make the case or speak up.
Well, let me say this. I believe that one day I will win the lotto. I believe that one day I will hit the jackpot. I will hit, I think the jackpot is what, 200 and something million right now. I'm praying hard that I do it. I go and play, I will win it. It doesn't mean I'm going to win the jackpot. The odds are 1 in 300 million. So I don't fault Kev for saying that he's going to win on the first round. That's what political parties do. That's what propagandists, that's what people who support political parties do. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, I will encourage folks on the other side of the aisle to say the same thing, that, we're going to win on the first ballot too. But let's get to the main crux of the issue here, is that the issue here is also about messaging. The issue here is also about knowing your audience. I'm a huge proponent. Every time I come on this platform, I state over and over that when you go to war, you should understand the battlefield in which you are going to go and fight. The problem that we have is that the country is in a very, very difficult place. You have an incumbent that has not done what he said he was going to do. That is a fact. The president, the president can say COVID. He can use all the excuses. By the way, that is his right to do it. He has a right to make excuses for why he has come up short. But then you also have the alternatives. You have the CPP, you have the Unity Party. Before the CPP and the Unity Party, they were all one in one collaboration. That collaboration broke apart. You have what you literally have is a 3-horse race. And that 3-horse race, and this is where I think, and I always like to say, I like to speak truth. Because at the end of the day, as we continue on this trajectory, let us not forget, Stanton, we are 10 months away from elections. People are thinking that we are 1 year away because we're in January. Elections are in October. We are 10 months away from election. We are still figuring out where to go. We are still figuring out messaging. You have a population, you have a voting population that is tired, that they have voters fatigue. Their mindset right now is, what can we get? Because we know when y'all get there, y'all don't look behind. So I don't know what Kev believes, but I'm not going to beat him on it because he has a right to believe that he will win on the first ballot. What I will say though, and I will borrow from what Salamatu said, that this is not going to be an easy election. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be a walk in the park for any of the parties that are running in this process.
Thank you. Dr. Peabody, is our economy stupid? The Liberian economy, is that, do we have that form of economy in Liberia? It's just a bluff. I'm receiving information about some folks have not gotten paid, though the government saying they are paying people, they have paid, they have 100%, even they have gone above and beyond, pay even before the people start working. But kept saying, based on those things, this government, CDC, will beat every opposition round one.
You know,
the Dr. Peabody. All right, I think he got internet problem. Let's bring in Minister Fagon. Are you with us now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're good. You're good. Talk to us.
I don't know what mine. Let me say, I like to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. You look at the economy in Liberia today. Does it look like an economy that has improved? Does it look like an economy that is better, that anybody can run on and say that we're going to get a job, we're going to win? I would say no. But let me give a benefit of the doubt. We survived critical situation like Liberia. Even with the pandemic and with the current war that is going on, the liquidation issue that we had when there were no money in the bank, Liberia survived that. Let's give them a credit for that. Liberia survived that, you know. But is it better off? I said no. We are not better off today. Our economy is not one of the finest or the best, even better. But it's okay. It's so-so. So I'll say it's so-so. But nobody can use that to run on. There's a lot of issue going in the country. That hospital in Baputo was just built last week. It was just completed last week and dedicated. They have not even started to receive patients and not train the staff. So what would you run on and say, oh, we provide a health care? Provide a hospital building. Has it impacted life? Have we seen the healthcare condition of Liberian change? No, it hasn't changed one bit. People are still dying from curable illnesses in Liberia. You know, so you can say that it has changed. But you know, Kevin Sassidisian, he has the right to say who's going to win and who's not going to win the first round. You know, that's it's optional. That's his prerogative. He can say that. But there are some things that Liberia will look to. And as I said, always say here, at the end of the day, Liberia must decide, are you better off 5 years later? Has your condition changed? Has your well-being changed? Has anything changed for your family? Is our education system better today? And stuff like that. That's a decision that Liberian people will make. If I was to say that, I would say no. I mean, what has changed? I mean, you have a president who went out of the country for 48 days, spending millions of dollars. Is that I'm not being accountable to Liberian people? You come and say the other person pledged this and the other person pledged that, bringing empty promises to the Liberian people. So nothing had really changed. So I mean, it left for the Liberian people to determine if their life is better off today or not.
Eugene Lamin Fagon, former Deputy Information Minister. Welcome to the Spoon Talk again.
Thank you, Stanton, and greetings to all of you. Before I make progress, I'm a person that likes to understand, and I'm happy that Kev is paying attention. Kev, for the benefit of our people out there, the macro or whatever economics, two of them I know. Can you quickly spell it and tell us what the meaning of that is or what you're trying to say? Can you quickly? 30 seconds. I yield to you.
No, man, the man is not on spelling content, man. Let's go ahead, man.
Okay, then he can tell us which one he's talking about. Quickly.
Yeah, the man said out the MI or the MA, take one. Let's move ahead.
Thanks for helping him. You can still explain that to us. Can you explain it to us quickly?
You know, Fagon, I feel that we.
Kev, can you put your face on the camera? You looking?
It's my position. I think that we should be bigger than on this platform, and we should stop to act like children. we're not in a spelling contest, right? I don't think I should come here. I can spell it for you, but I'm not going to come here to act like a children and to say, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do that? If I will ask you this, right, Flagon, if I will ask you this question that you beat on Edwin Snow, you beat on Edwin Snow here.
Kev, don't take all my time. If you cannot tell me what macroeconomics you're talking about, then
still,
give
I
me
need
back
to
my
say
time.
this. No, still, I need to say
because
this.
you cannot tell me.
Yeah, but you asked a question, you got to allow him to answer,
So can
Fagon.
you talk about macroeconomics and forget the snow?
Fagon, you cannot direct the way you should answer your question. You know this
And my
thing.
question is specific. It is
No,
my
but
time.
you brought him in. You brought him in through your
So let
conversation.
me answer macroeconomics.
Allow him to speak. You brought him in.
And I'm a time.
Yeah,
you needed your time to him, so you can't take it back, guys. Go.
It's over.
You're not Indian game. Well, let the man speak, my man.
So let me tell me about macroeconomics.
Seal, he asking me this question, right? And I also want him to answer to the Liberian people today on this show that Minister Fagon, former Minister Fagon, claimed that he's talking for the people of Bomi while asking Edwin Snow for money behind the Liberian people back. Why he on this platform?
Kev, give me my time, man.
Why you asking Edwin Snow?
Yeah.
So
play a recording. If you can't play it, then pass.
Because Edwin Snow refused, and you come on the show and attack Edwin Snow.
See,
Snow said,
Kev. Hold on 1 minute, Fagon. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on.
Wait,
no. Eugene, hold on 1 minute. No, Eugene, wait 1 minute. I will give you time. Eugene. Yeah, Eugene, hold on 1 minute. Yeah, Eugene, hold on 1 minute. Kev. We just on the first round, and I hope again, Kev, please, can you adjust your camera? We are looking at your head. Not
the
your
people
face.
gotta talk to the man. The man got a little small phone there.
But let me say this, Kefico. When we come back, right? You can ask. Yeah, you better not, Kev. When we come back, you better, Kev. You better, right? When you come back, you can ask your question. But let's go back. Let him finish out on whether CDC will win first round. The allegation you just brought out is kind of horrible, and I saw that Richardson face and other folks. So, but man, I beg you, we shouldn't.
Okay. First of all, let me address that quick. Kev Hassan is not Edwin Snow. So Kev Hassan can tell me that he was standing there and asked Edwin Snow for money. So Kev take this small cricket phone and put it in front of him and let people tell him garbage. Edwin Snow said, what his name? Saint Jassy asked him for money. He said that the people money, I can't take money, so I can't give it. Kev, you talk about being childish. That's so the childish thing right there. Somebody get you talk. Everybody can see your mouth moving on the camera, but you're not talking to all. You're talking to them. So let me be clear from the beginning. Let Edwin Snow get you the recording. You say, you play it to the Liberian people. I challenge you and Snow. Get a recording to Stanton. Let him show I ask him for money for Western Cluster. Okay? If you get it, zip it. Close that phone. Zip it. Because of all politics, we don't play it again. Now, let me take you to my classroom. And the question is about first round, second round.
First round. Yeah, first round.
And you think you will win on macro, which is with the A, or micro. MI has to do with the individual and the decisions they take in a single factor arrangement. That's economics. Macro has to do with double factors that has to do with interest rates and large-scale economics. You're in my classroom. That's where to come to. Now, Sister Salimatu, this election can be won in first round. And the reason is simple. In politics, nothing is impossible. Anything is possible. And let's look at George Weah, for example. If he does not employ the right strategy, he will lose in the first round if we go by a strategy referred to that I crafted called the Senator's Playbook. Remember that name. And Kev, be careful, because our CDC can be flogged in the first round if the opposition use my strategy referred to as the Senator's Playbook. And this strategy is very effective. If Joseph Boakai calls Jeremiah Kun, Yomble Kanga, Prince Moi, and set them down and say, in the interest of the country, with the blessing of Prince Johnson, if Jeremiah Kun go as VP to Boakai and Yomble consent to be the first female pro tem, hear my English, and Prince Moi accept to be the chairman on executive, the election will be over for you in the first round. The very first round. Because you don't have the statistics, I do. If Nimba goes where Jeremiah Kun and Prince Johnson goes, where do you stand? 2 districts there is the whole Southeast. You voted against James Barney, so Maryland will not go with you. With Yomble, Jonathan Kaipe, and Darius Dillon taking over the Basso belt, you got nothing there again, my brother. Monserrato will not vote your party. Lofa, you will not win. And Bon County under Dr. Henry Topa and Prince Moi will be delivered. So if Lofa, Bon, Bassa, Magibi, Riverside, and Nimba goes, the election is over in the first round. Let alone Monserrato with the lion's share. Where do you stand? Do you know politics? Should I give you figure? And the reason why they will win, because it's called the Senator's Playbook. Senator Prince Johnson, Senator Jeremiah Kun, Nimba County, it's gone. Dr. Henry Topa, Prince Moi, Bon County is gone. Jonathan Kaipe, Yomble Kangas, Grand Basso is gone. Emmanuel Nukwe and the other gentlemen, forget it. Magibi is gone. As for Lofa, don't even ask. It's traditional. Where do you stand, my brother? Yes, the party can be defeated in one round if the Senator's Playbook is used. Because the Western Belt, don't man snow, leper will be leper. And the reason why I tell you that is because Vani Shema is UP. Bapolu will fall. Go look at the record from 2017. They voted against your party. They went for Joseph Boakai. They will go again. So that's Bomi left. Snow is UP. Bagbe Lasana West is UP. You will be defeated in Bomi because of Tyler. First of all, wait until Tyler and Barney sign for you. Right now, you don't have a party called CDC. They have not signed a document. So you don't have a coalition. Be careful. You are dealing with the guy from 2017. I respectfully submit.
Thank you very much, Minister Fagon. It's so unique, guys. But Kev, I know we come to you, like when I make the first round, we come to you. Let me lay this out. It's going to be open conversation. I'm not going to control this because I hope I can contribute myself. I want to see the pathway. I want to see exactly how can CDC win round 1. Everyone on this show believe that will be round 2, second round. But for you, Kev, to say CDC will win round 1, maybe you said it before. To give you credit in Lofa that you guys are going to win the senatorial race that brought Councilor Jala to power. And indeed, you guys won. You're hearing something we are not hearing. So make the case, and you can take.
The CDC did not win. Stanton.
But the individuals that want supported CDC, it was CDC on the cover.
Always supported. All they put at one because if they put a logo there, they will be defeated.
But okay, so who benefited? CDC benefited.
No.
And the person is now campaigning and working alongside with CDC. So, right. Kev Hassan, make your case, guys. Take your own position on the discussion. Let's have a wonderful show. Again, we want to say to every one of you, welcome to the Spoon Talk. Somebody said he will discuss Western Cluster. Kev is talking about the first round victory for CDC. Make your case. The 50,000. Also, Timothy talk about from the lawmakers that they receive, if they receive it. I have nothing to prove that they receive 50,000. And also, national issue. They don't just flag the $20 million that went missing on the RIA. It's on the front page newspaper. I would like to know more about that as well. Let's talk. Let's talk the Spoon Talk. Kev Hassan, you come in. Your 2 minutes.
CEO, I don't take it lightly when somebody tries to attack me in a way, and especially, I think we all come here on this platform. You know, I'm here to propagate for my party, and I believe we'll win the first round. But when Fagon talking about bombing are close to our hearts, and I'm looking at the evidence that he actually asked Snow for money, and I look at it and I said to myself, I will call him and talk to him. But you know, I was busy today doing work and other stuff. I will call him to talk to him and say, look, what happened? You claim you're talking for the so if
let's say he's looking at the evidence, can he put it on the platform?
So if he wants us,
yeah, but you requesting for it. Let's give him a chance to speak.
Yeah,
Cap, if you do have Cap, let me say this now. I don't want us to get in. Hold on, Fagon. I want us to have a good show. I don't want us to get in and
waste our time.
Stuff. But to make the case, if you have anything, can you share it with us?
Yes.
If you're allowed to, please.
I'm going to share it right now. I'm going to share it right now.
Go ahead, share it.
I'm going to share it right now. I want the public to see it.
Are we allowed to post it?
I say I gave my right that I asked for money for Western Cluster. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm not going to be in this. Chairman Benson, we
stand by. Send it to the man.
George. I don't want us to
change our I think if Fagon asks anybody for money, it should come from Edwin Snow himself. I don't think it's appropriate for Kev to be the one to announce.
No. Don't say that. Peabody, you can't say that. Kev, put it up.
What I said that
put it up.
If Snow say he asks you for money, that Snow be the one to report it. It should not be Kev coming up and saying.
Guys, don't do that.
I don't think it's a good thing. It's not good for the show.
Okay, but not okay. Okay, symptomatic. Hold on 1 minute, guys. Hold on. Yeah. But hold on 1 minute now, guys. We shouldn't swerve this show, guys. Make your case. I think I agree with Peabody, but make your point.
No, then I will leave the show. Honestly,
my man, wait now.
Myself. It is.
We will come to you, Fagon.
I don't play that game.
Fagon.
Put it up.
Fagon, stop. Let the man speak. You can request for it, and James will put it up. But let him speak first.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Kev.
I send it to you. I think I can send it to James. Let him put it up so we can go from there.
Well, you are saying something, James. What you say? Send it to James, but you are saying something now. So make your point.
Yeah, I don't think that's the topic here now to expose.
All right. That's a Peabody. Let's go. I don't want to be in the middle.
We should not be tackling other people on the show for that. I think it's wrong. And if anybody,
all right, that's a Peabody. That's a Peabody. That's a Peabody. I agree with you. Okay. But let's go around. Go ahead, Kev. Kev, go ahead.
Let me send it to James. I saw it yesterday when I look at it. The evidence I sent it to James. James, can you upload it and just post it?
No, guys. No. Fagon. James don't put nothing up yet. Let's have this conversation, man. Okay? Let's have the conversation. When we get to it, Fagon, you can request for it. Yeah, I'm not. We shouldn't do this. Kev, make your case. Make your case, Kev. Talk to us.
Yeah. So
I want to see what Snow will put up, but people are bigger. Let's Snow put it up. Let's Snow put it up bigger. Kev, put it up.
But Fagon, hold on 1 minute now. Let Kev speak, please. Kev, go ahead.
We here on the show, we're trying to have a good show. I don't think anybody should get angry for me wanting my party to win first round. To attack me in a way, I think it's beneath this platform. I can tell you why we will win first round. I said it here that we're going to do well in Lofa. I said it on this platform. I said it to Fagon behind the scene. He says it's not possible. We talk about it, but we did well in Lofa. We won in Lofa. I'm saying the same thing again. And the reason I predicting that we're going to win first round, number one, the opposition are telling the Liberian people what they're going to do better than this government. They are not campaigning. Look around the country. 10 months ago, see any opposition making the case? The only person who's traveling around the country, around town, is Mr. Cummings, and the people are not buying to him. Look around, guys, and tell me, beside Lofa, that is CDC attacking right now, the ground troops in Lofa, where the UP can be formidable. Because the reason I'm not putting ANC, because ANC at this moment can't do anything. But where they can be formidable, they are not, no traction around the country. They are not telling. I'm asking this question every day. What can you do better than this government? Nobody answer. If everybody come here, all they telling you what the government not doing. But when you depend on the misstep of your opponents, if that's what you depend on, you're gonna lose. It happened in this country. It happened in this country, CEO.
Thank you, Captain.
CEO, you know I'm outnumbered, so let me rest, CEO. It happened in this country, right? In the midterm election, all the pundits were wrong. They said it's going to be a blowout, a red wave. But the American people said, the Republicans are not telling us what they're going to do differently for Joe Biden. As we speak, Tommy was talking, they even fighting who they should put as speaker right now. They even fighting because they don't even have the numbers. The Senate, they couldn't take the Senate. One reason. So let's look at it. All people saying, oh, they will win because this not happening. The 2020 election is going to make this president win the 2023 election. Because the 2020 election, the people put the trust in the opposition, and guess what? People still talking about our lawmaker. The same thing. Even when I was still around, now we're talking about 50,000. They start from 50. They want 50.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me go to
So
Dr.
they were talking about it going to change in the Senate. Nothing.
Thank you. Dr. Richardson, the argument Kev is making, or you can choose your own discussion. We are moving.
I have said this before. Kev often tell the public that the opposition, specifically Mr. Cummings, is not telling the Liberian people what he's going to do differently. And I've said this before, maybe you don't want to listen to it, or maybe people who, in your camp don't want to listen to it. But let me just share some things with you. First of all, Liberians historically, were paid on time. They received their payment, their paycheck every month.
That's not true. That's not true.
That is true. It is true. You're confusing short-term projects with salary employees.
Let's start about two. We have many on the show. Kev, listen, do not interrupt. We have given you enough time. Let it speak, please.
Yes. So that is something that Mr. Cummings is going to do. He's going to prioritize Liberians. He's going to empower them. All right. He's going to take away money from that is top heavy, meaning your presidential affair office got a lot of money in the budget, historic in the past couple of years. Your vice president office got a lot of money. Even your first lady has money in the budget, which we never have seen before. All of that going to be reallocated to paying the salaries for Liberian people. That's one thing. We're not going to build hospitals. We're going to build hospitals and do long-term planning. When did you know Emirates Hospital is going to be built? I don't see that in your budget in terms of a lot of money for, sustainability, sustaining the hospital. That is something.
Yo, man.
That is something Mr. Cummings is going to engage in.
So you don't know how the Emirates
but you're not doing this on the show now.
Engage in that, okay?
Don't do it.
Sustainability, okay? So we're going to create system and get up with the modern world. Healthcare is not just going to be buildings. There's going to be brainstorming of how Liberians can receive healthcare. Mr. Fakon has brought a beautiful program to how the government has been taking money from people's salary. I think anywhere ranging from $20 to $45, and nobody knows where it goes. It evaporates into thin air. That money can be brainstormed to be used to provide health care for Liberians, just like anywhere else in the world. You work in America, I work in America. They take money from my paycheck for health care. Why that can't be done? It's been done for Liberians. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of how we're going to tweak things. Wasteful spending at the port. Wasteful spending. Mr. Cummings talks about this a lot in different government offices. Hiring people with all the competency, all right? Without job training, just hiring them because they belong to a political party. All of those things, they balloon the budget and then don't focus on the Liberian people. We're going to do that. We're going to talk about the hearts and minds of Liberians. I'm here. You don't know the mindset of our people. I get to see that. I see that with a different eye, of course, because of what I'm trained to do. People they're not well. They're not well. We're not well. We are not well, Kev. And whatever Mr. Cummings' government will prioritize the mindset of Liberian people, which this government has failed to do. There's going to be brainstorming about how we can improve our mental health, because since the war, we had a brief rehabilitation training
of the Liberian people.
You interrupted me.
Can you stop, Kev? Can you stop interrupting, please?
You interrupted me. Maybe you're in some kind of la-la land, but it's obvious, it's very obvious that we had a war, a civil war in this country. And after a civil war, there's residual effects of that. It destroyed the moral fabric, the family fabric of our culture, okay, of our people. And until we focus on those things, okay, why do you think that our country has the second highest crime is rape in our country? Do you think it just happened like poof out of the air? You know, why do you think that we have a couple of months ago depression from our Ministry of Health? Your Ministry of Health was very, I think 1 million people had depression in this country from your Ministry of Health. And then COVID, the long-term effect of COVID has compounded our problem. So a government will focus on all of these things. It's not that we don't have the money. I told you where the money will come from. I just gave you elementary thoughts about where the money will come from. Your top heavy areas in your budget.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson.
Where it come from. Thank you. I'm just giving some ideas because you always ask these questions.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson. Sintumar and George.
Well, like we keep saying though, this election, it's true. Politics is not static; it's dynamic. Anything can happen in politics. There will be major endorsement of one party to another party, and could change the course of the election. But as things stand right now, it's just mathematically impossible to see one person, one party getting 50 plus one votes, and the candidates they got to make their case. It's true that one advantage that President Weah has as an incumbent, he's the president. He has the bullet pulpit. He has the financial war chest, And then if you a recent perception voter survey like so popular in the era of Liberia. We should not take it for granted. The government, they are carrying on projects there. So the people are looking at all of these things. And then he's about to go on a nationwide tour before his campaign trip. So it should not just sit and say things that it will happen overnight. But the opposition, I keep saying it, opposition unity is very key. If they go go fragmented and get intense and attacks on each other, it will affect them. And eventually, people say, look, people who fight among themselves, they get in power, they will continue to fight. So it's very important that the opposition establish that non-aggression pact, I will keep saying, where they will meet regularly once a week to compare notes and say, look, and just how you have in NATO, an attack on all. Okay? If you attack any NATO member, they go after you. That's why NATO is so strong, not allowing the treaty organization. They should come out.
But somebody, Leo, we are NATO advanced, man.
That. So yeah, but they should do that because if they keep on, one person like the person.
You can't take it from there.
Like I will say this. No example. Come on, example. No, we got no example, right? I will say this. The day Costa arrived in Liberia, I saw the opposition attacking him. The same opposition people. Forget about the politics, but you can't. The man arriving, they're attacking him right now. No, I thought they would, you can't let it go on. You know, but when they do that to each other,
is it my one or Tommy?
And
that's why
I thought it was mine.
No, you know it's not yours. You know it's Tommy. He just tried to do that. Tommy, I don't know whether Tommy is in Liberia or where he is. Every day we say this thing about folks, forgive us. Every day we say this thing.
Back to the point.
Tommy, just switch provider.
Internet fine.
Fiber. Ask for AT&T fiber internet.
No,
the Western Cluster TV will be discussed. That Western Cluster agreement is one on my mind right now. Okay.
But your internet is working good on top of Western Cluster. Your internet is working good on top of Western
Cluster. Let's go to start Matthew.
We gotta go to the bottom of it and find out what happened.
You see, you see the problem we got with it? The delay.
Don't stop playing with me.
So when we finish talking, you will come back.
Matthew, go ahead.
Okay, and for Kev, you know, we're talking about the employees, the civil servants getting paid. He kept saying, no. The civil servants got paid under Madam Sirleaf. What Kev is confusing, as usual, some of the short-term projects that they used to have where they will call, maybe they will say, this agency should hire a couple of youth to go clean the street and they won't pay the children on time. The children start making noise. But the civil servants got paid on time. If Kev go back and just look to see, number one, what they were getting paid before Madam Sirleaf took over versus what they're getting paid now. And of course, their harmonization mess that they did when it came into power. But again, the reminder, these civil servants are voters. They know if they're getting paid on time, if they're getting paid on time. They will listen to the sweet talk. You will not see them jumping in the street, but when it's time to vote, they will go vote. 2, water and sewer. They don't pay the employees at water and sewer as we speak now. They don't pay the people all their back pay. So I beg you, Kev, please text your people and ask them if they don't pay water and sewer employees, if they're up to date with the paycheck for the civil servants at water and sewer, and if they are aware that if the people ain't get paid next month, there will be a holla. Then we'll be right back on the show, trying to justify. 2, 3.
Sorry, go ahead.
Kev, you also have to realize.
From Minister of Finance.
What is it?
What does Silver get paid and LEC they got paid from Ministry of Finance? I just asked
you asking me?
Yeah.
I said the poor didn't get paid.
I asked you where the pay check coming from, finance ministry.
Where's it supposed to come from?
Okay, do your home.
No, you do your homework. You can't tell us if the people got paid. Did the people get paid? And you asking me who's supposed to pay them?
Do your home.
What is not part of George Weah administration?
So
I did different work for different people.
I didn't want to be that condescending. So
no. But Kev, are you justifying only Ministry of Finance can pay people on time? Or I'm not understanding the justification. But please, I beg you, find out if water and sewer not get paid. Because we got people at water and sewer. Yeah. So please find out. Yeah. Two, when we talking about, you know what, when I mentioned I'm not an election consultant or expert per se. I look at the trend that has happened in Liberia, regardless of if you are popular or you're not popular. And for years, I don't know when was the last time that a presidential candidate actually won the first round. No matter how unhappy people were with the other person or how happy they were with the choice that eventually won. It's just that nobody has won. I mean, y'all can educate me if I got it wrong. So that's one of the things that I'm basing my thoughts on, that there will be nobody to win the first round. Miracles can happen, but we know it's more than likely that it's not going to happen, that we will go into a second round. And everybody on here, I think Timberland said it, you're absolutely right. The opposition as a whole needs to come together. They need to come together. They need to go sit in a room again. They need to fight it out. They need to make whatever deals they need to make. But without them coming together, it will be a very difficult fight to beat a government that hasn't really been doing anything. You have a government right now that it will be easy to beat if they come together. And I know my brother kept saying, what would the other person do? What would the other person do when they come in? We keep telling them what they're not doing. Number one, under for full disclosure, let me just let you know right now. I am a member of the LP party. No, let me let you know, because I don't sit on fence. If I for something, I for something. You cuss me, If they win, no problem. I am a member of the Liberty Party.
Oh, you
don't ask me which side. I'm a member of the Liberty Party. I know CEO won't ask me which side. I'm the member of the Liberty Party.
At least for me, I'm independent. That make it better.
I'm a strong supporter of the CPB under Alex Cummings. And for me, my personal support for Mr. Cummings is simply because I have seen and learned of his leadership style. I know he's able to manage well. I know that he will pay. He will make sure the civil service.
It's okay now. Your term is up, Sir Matthew. We'll come back.
No, my time now. Kept up plenty. Yeah, kept up plenty. You know, you are a confusionist.
No.
No, you are a confusionist.
Endorsement.
No, not endorsement. The man asked us what the other people there will do.
Yeah.
He said we just jumping on here, jumping on.
So it's okay. We'll come back. Salamatu.
So let me I want to say something quick, man.
Chairman, come in.
Go ahead. Come in quickly. Listen, again.
Why are you Salamatu off?
No, we'll come back to the endorsement thing. Yeah.
Salamatu finish speaking? Oh.
And Salamatu can answer which part of the Liberty Party she belongs to.
So let me say this. I have made a determination. I have made a determination moving forward to look at things holistically. One of the reasons why I have come to that conclusion is because I have some experience in this game, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but we've seen this movie before. Stand on your video all. So you got to be. I just letting you know that your video all. So, but let me say this, okay? Tommy, you said something right, and Salamatu just said it. We can spin this thing all we want to spin it. And I said this to my folks in my party, the CPP, all of that. I said, look, y'all consider me a maverick moving forward. I'm going to say how I see it. And some of you will have to say it publicly because, some of the things you say private, nobody tends to get the message. I don't care how we try to spin this thing. There is a real threat here. Is that the voting population are tired. They're tired in a sense, not because they like what they're going through, but their reality is possibly not none of us on this platform reality. None of us. What these people go through every single day, we don't go through it. Yes, we attempt to speak. We attempt to draw the contrast. We attempt to analyze. But I will say this again. Until the candidates who are running for president get to understand that you have to meet the people where they are. There is a very thin line between talking at the people and talking to the people. We cannot continue to do things the same way and expect another result. Remember who made that line popular in Liberian politics? It's not his original quote, but he made it popular. Alex Cummings. He did. So Alex Cummings, Joseph Boykai, Tewon Gonglo, all of these people who in an attempt, that's why, who wants to unseat George Weah. Newsflash, George Weah is not an easy incumbent to beat. He was a difficult opposition to beat. And until this reality sinks in, we will continue to have this conversation. We can talk about economics. We can talk about micro. We can talk about micro. We can talk about uncro. We can talk about all of that. How many of these people are discussing micro and microeconomics? How many of them? Many of our people don't even remember what happened 6 months ago, guys. They are dealing with today's reality. And these men who want to unseat the incumbent, and like Tomini said, and this is something that a lot of people in the opposition are taking for granted. The power of incumbency is no joke. The president doesn't have to pay for media. The president doesn't, when he travels, he doesn't need to call press people to follow him. All he has to do, in fact, this president, all he has to do is to get in a church and mount a pulpit. And when he speaks, he's speaking directly to an audience. And so I will say this. Until
that Ben Sandy talking here?
That me, Fagon. That me. And let me tell you, there is a tendency sometimes, guys, for us to create our own reality. There is a tendency for us to create our own reality. And I'm being honest with you. You saw what Fagon said? What did you say? You said the senator's playbook. But guess what? Guess that playbook. There is an if. That's what he said. He didn't say the senator playbook will happen. He said if it happens.
If it happens.
We did the same thing. Remember the Unity Party in 2011. Stanton, I know you gave me my 30-second cue. I wasn't finished. We did this thing in 2011. The only opposition ticket that could have beaten Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was a Bromsky-Weah ticket. What did the Unity Party do? They worked overtime to make sure that ticket. Tommy Georgia was in CDC. I mean, he stays CDC, but he's inactive right now. He's independent. The opposition, needs to figure out what the moral, what is it called? Moral operandi, modus, or whatever they call that word. They need to figure out what the agenda here is. What is the opposition's what is the opposition message in this election? Everybody's talking about change. Yeah. But what does change look like? How are we explaining the change to these people? Are these people connecting with the message? Again, so call it what you want to call it. There is a thin line between your reality and the actual reality on the ground. Been there, done that. I will rest for now.
Wow. The room remained silent and the chairman spoke. Is Ben leaning? That will be the headline tomorrow. Is Ben leaning? That will be the headline.
You don't start. Okay.
If he's leaning, which political party?
Please don't start.
We're not leaning.
Have he left?
Benjamin Real, maybe.
Mommy, I'm talking real, Tommy. That is the truth.
Have he left? Because the last time we were on the show almost 8 months ago, Chairman Ben Jimon Senvi openly endorsed Mr. Cummings. But I will leave this one with the people, and the people know the message. Let me bring in my dear brother, the peacemaker, Dr. Peabody.
Honestly, I'm out of the question, but I'll just flow as others have done, and I couldn't agree farther that the opposition don't come together. They definitely will have a challenge. I think they need to work together in a way, that they can really defeat President Weah. But I don't think they are doing it. And again, let me say this: President Weah have really not demonstrated that he can lead for another 6 years. Let's be realistic. It's like you sit back and wait. That's how he won the last election. He didn't go to debate. He said he's not going to go to any debate again this year. He's not going to let him go to debate. He's just going to sit and wait. And if the opposition don't put the act together, and a man who not going to debate, he's doing nothing, and say, "Oh yeah, the people supporting." I mean, I look at the population of Maria. I mean, how much percentage the President we are winning? So we can say that the people love him everywhere he go. I mean, it's true. It's true that he has a base, very strong base, but on the issue of policy, have your life change? Look at yourself when you go home in Monrovia tomorrow. Look at yourself and say, have my life changed? Am I better off today? Look at yourself and look at yourself. Has your life changed? Do you have one meal to eat a day? Are you able when you need money? When you're sick, are you able to go to the hospital? Look at your own life and see if it has changed. If yes, then go for the man who does not go to debate, who says he can just win the election. Go there, and then that's your man right there.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Peabody. Let me bring in Dr. Peabody. You're asking a question, and I think we have more time to discuss this issue. The Liberian people's listening right now by way of the radio. Again, we apologize if you're having some technical difficulties from your end. We should be good in the next couple of weeks. You will be able to hear us in the next couple of weeks. Spoon FM will be on tap, transmitter, all good. The Super TV, Super radio station, and that of Fabric. But let me bring in Honorable Eugene Fagon. You heard what Dr. Peabody say, Honorable Fagon?
Yeah, I heard it. And let me just warn you quickly that as long as they are sitting in that little car that I know and jamming your station, go back to your yesterday and your day before yesterday stuff. Whenever critical issues are being discussed, re-honor your feed. Oh, we can hear jamming your frequency, son.
With the jamming spoon?
Jamming your frequency. That's all I would say. And I'll move forward.
The man talking about the strategy that he used before when he was there. You see?
Wow. I'm telling you, they're jamming your frequency on critical issues. Let me proceed. Quickly, before I answer your question, I don't play the game like what Manny Packer play with you. And I'm going to raise my hand to God and say, thank you, Jesus, that 1 year ago, when Snow promised that what the people did to you were bad, I will find something for you. A year ago, way back, Kev, a year ago, I said, I'm moving to Tennessee. He said, I will find something for you. And thankfully, I screenshot it and sent it to your boss, man. I said, why has it taken you 1 year to make good on your promise? He responded, he said, I know, right? Because the promise was made in November of 2021. Secondly, Kev, and I send the evidence, that nonsense you get in there that reads, and you believe they will put 5 million into social development for Bummy? And you see the question mark there? I don't compromise. And what did I say? I said, really, nobody's stupid here. That's just small of the iceberg. And now I thought you were going to come here and tell like Grandpa why you took this money from Snow. That's why you start telling people. But you can't tell the people. Then you say, I asked Snow. No, it was a promise. Stanton, did I not say you the Sonny? From 1 year ago. Kola people, they can say we mean, we not mean, we nice. So we can try again. Try again, because you know what? Even now he can't. He said, my man, I promise you I'm sorry. Because I sent it to Stanton. Yeah, I will not take it. This is the man. I will not go into detail because I'm a real man. Because if I put my own osa, it will be nasty. And I'm warning you again. They hungry stomach, nowhere to eat from. Now when you see some people can be walking, they fall and they die. Then they post, oh, the man's stupid. And not every food you can eat. But thankfully, I was putting him on the record to say this promise is 1 year old. And he said, I know, right? And that was when? When November. And not Western Cluster time. So you know what? I'm not going to play that game with you. This is Eugene Fagon. Another one that went to India and collect 3 million. Another one that left all my colleagues behind and carried minister to India to negotiate a contract that will not see backfire. I will not show him any photo. But that nonsense too of your try. If you try it one more time, I will open my arsenal on you and you won't like it. It's not a threat. It's a warning.
If I were you, I would not argue this thing.
Excuse me. You have your time to talk.
This is not 1 year ago.
No, you know why I can say that?
Yeah, but Kev, let him.
You know why I sit down with Kev then talking? Because I respect my time.
Yeah, Kev, let him speak, please. Don't take his time.
Now, you will not take my time, Kev. I can play that game better than you. You spent only 40 days in Liberia in the last 36 years. So you don't come and debate with me. And I think Stanton allow you to push me. But your parents brought you to Liberia when you were 12 years old. There's no evidence of citizenship. You are not a Liberian.
But
Lord, DJ, y'all get back to the topic, man. No. Talk about the issue.
Because you want to go water.
I'm just saying Western Cluster. It wasn't Cluster. That bogus deal.
You want to go water with me?
And those responsible for that bogus deal will be brought in. Should be held accountable.
Thank you. Now, your question, Stanton, and that should be the last time anyone attempt, or else whoever attempt to be tempted, temptatiously will be dealt with, expeditiously too.
You go to Christmas now.
To answer your question,
you turning it off, Fagon?
Yeah, that's him here. That's Fagon right here.
Threatening us on the show.
No, I say anyone attempt. No, not you, hey, man. We're talking about them. They know that set.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify because
you're not there, man. Eat your lobster in Liberia. You're not there. You were
thank you.
You hear the shot the metro I eat your lobster in Liberia. You say thank you.
It's okay.
Should I eat government? That government money.
Oh, that would government people. Okay, sorry.
Government money to eat lobster.
That comes 70,000. I forgot. Yes, sorry.
Okay, so let me answer this question.
Any attempt to attempt.
Yeah, the tempted.
Attempt to attempt, right?
The tempted. I'll be tempted. Any attempt to tempt the tempted. Yeah, you'll be dealt with expeditiously, ferociously. Now, All right, we'll put that one aside. Let's give the
My
Liberian
David,
people what they
watching, I
deserve.
try to settle the 2,000 issue after the show.
Where 2,000? Who brought it? Man, I'm a disciple. I'm a sedition. He is an expatriate. An expatriate. Let's do something, man.
Which one the constitution?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna finish up, man. Let's go, man.
You're not go there. Let's go back to the
So
top.
let me say this.
People are wait, man. You just want to peace.
Yeah, you like the fry. That your left fry to the.
People are playing Echo Royal
Tomorrow.
My man, let me
No, but
answer the
tomorrow,
question.
I spend a whole day on Western Coast.
You know, when people who don't, okay, Ben was there, but when people who don't have experience in the political landscape and they've been fed with propaganda to come up and say things, we laugh. Because people that we don't want walk from Magehos in VOA Magibi Bodo to the party headquarters. Everybody saw me with my county and then it collapsed. We know what crowd is. We know what we did in the dark when it comes to propaganda from 2017 to now. People living in a bubble. People living with illusion. People should know that 2005 and 2011, it's not that we couldn't win, but we did not have what it took to win. Whether it was the international contact to maintain the result of the election that we believe was rigged at the time, we did not have it. So we came to 2017 and brought everybody on board. Where are those people? Are they still with the CDC? The people that push the CDC over the winning barrier. I dare anybody to tell me all those people with the CDC. They're not. We spent 6 years in power and did not expand our coalition. It still remained with a 3-party. Actually, 2.5. Now, here we are today, boasting and bragging that we can win in the first round. We don't even know whether LPDP and NPP with us. The man leading the NPP was campaigning ferociously and vigorously against by George Manneh Weah, James Barney. And James Barney and Tyler were marginalized. Yeah, in particular, their respective parties. We are trying to see a crisis and downplay it, but we won before. And now here we are. You want to talk about a coalition that does not exist, Stanton. So again, I must put it back to my fellow seditions. You are treading on dangerous path. I won before. Go back and bring your people back to the party. You say no. Reorganize the party. You say no. As a call for reconciliation, you say no. Now here we are. You confirm on the show that Jeremiah Kun will run in these elections. If Jeremiah Kun run in these elections, whose vote you think he will be chopping? I dare anybody tell me, say, that Barker vote. No, something you don't have before, you never had it. We are dependent on our vote. So that we have vote he will chop. If Tia won't run, who vote you think he will be chopping? That we have vote he will be chopping. Cannot Barker vote. Barker vote will remain there. And if anything I can tell you today on this platform, Braga has gained more because those now who push the CDC over the brink are now walking away from the CDC. Who you think they're going to? They're going back to their mother units. If you go back, the reason why I say they should go back to the data. Right now. If you go back to the data, in 2017, Nimba accounted for 214,000 votes, valid votes, compared to 3 counties, 4, Maryland, Grand Bassa, Sando, and Riverside. 4 counties put together only have 126,000 votes in 2017. You want to draw comparison? Look at Monserrado. The total was 590,000 valid votes. Who do you think will win Monserrado? George Weah or Barkai? The past election, all the by-elections and the mid-elections, which candidate the CDC field? They ran away from their own logo. In Lofa, in Cape Man, in Grand Jida, they ran away all over. They only depending on this president. But remember, presidential election may not be legislative election, but legislators have a bearing on their people. So if we go by counties, I repeat, from the Senator's playbook, if Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kun go with Buckeye, and Nyomli says she will be the first female pro tem, and Prince Moi say he will be the chairman on executive, I repeat emphatically, as a student of political science, that the elections will be over, because the Bassa belt of Bassa, Magibi, and Riverses in 2017 accounted for 247,000 votes. That's Jonathan Kaipe, he's a senator. That's Nyomli, she's a senator. Even if you look at Wellington G. Von Smith and Paul Charles, the two senators. The idea is the senator's playbook. They will be very influential. The two people you could use, which happens to be Bezonga Finlay. Is he in your camp? Have you treated him fair? Do you know where he's living right now? Read that story.
Thank you very much, Fagon.
Let me conclude, please. It is safe for someone to sit here who does not know Liberia to say, you know what happened? It's a first round. Now what they told her when Jelon came first, and not small flocking. We said the same to the people when Jelon came second. Let Ben tell you, he doubled it. Then we came up with this idea of political leaders. And I'm closing on this note. We said Zopeno was the champion in Grand G there. The way Eros Smith be or the market door. We said Jua Howard Taylor, Madam Jua Howard Taylor, the vice president, was the champion in Bon County. The way Papi Collie be or the market door. We said Prince Johnson was the champion in Nimba. He was Tilewa too. The way Sam Brown be or the market door. Should I continue? This is a warning. When people don't understand the undercurrents of our politics, they will give you a false reality. I respectfully submit.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Eugene Fagan. Folks, again, like we promised our good followers, we'll have to be very fast on this third round because we'll be going to the phone line thereof. Kev Hassan, I'll make your case. We must be on this show 2 hours, 30 minutes for question, and we leave from here in 2 hours, 30 minutes, folks. We are getting older. I'm going to be 41 years old this year. I cannot, for the 8 years. So I'm trying to call Ben age. I'm going to be 48 years old this year. I just cannot do more than 2 hours.
Did you say 41?
I'm going to be 48, Ben. I'm older than you.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you're going to be 41, but that's okay. But Kev, I mean, poor joke aside, on a very serious note, you get your own game plan as to how you guys will win. But make a case. Give it your best shot, though, because after this round, we're going to the phone line.
Before I make the case, I think Fagon should calculate my age, and he should know that even the coup that happened in 1980, I was not even 12 years old. I was not even 12 years old. The coup that happened in 1980. Maybe he mistaking his age for my age. I was not even 12 years old. When I was going to HQ Taylor, my first grade there, I was not 12 years old. I was going to HQ Taylor in Bobby. For you to come and say such a thing like that, Minister Fagon, you get my Bobby people blowing my phone saying they even want to come and talk. People are mad. They're blowing my phone, sending me texts. They say, why Fagon stay 12 years old? Why some of us start in first grade with you? For Fagon to say that, Fagon, I did my best to treat you as a brother. I did my best. I treated you as a brother. I was there for you. You attack me every day on the show. I smile.
Go to the issue, man. I need the issues, man. I beg you.
No, something, I have to say that.
If you want to go about your school, just tell like whether you are born like bro in the hospital you are born in.
Okay, but man, no, Fagon. That can't speak. Fagon, you no, guys. No, too many. Please.
No,
too many, Josh. Do not interrupt. All right, it's okay. Kev Hassan.
Come back again, I'll come back.
Fagon, you will not disrupt the show. He have the flow. Allow him to speak, please. Kev Hassan, please.
We'll go back to it.
Please, Kev Hassan, speak.
You see, Fagon, even the iPad you're using come from me. That you broadcasting came from me. Even the iPad that he's using came from me. I did well. You have an iPad there.
You gotta be childish, man. You started doing that.
Yeah, the iPad that you broadcasting from. iPad, I don't say computer, I say iPad came from me. And I can prove it. I can show receipts of things.
Kev.
It hurts to see somebody that you kill yourself for.
Kev.
You're supposed to be dead.
Ain't see what they're doing now?
Kev, let it go. No, Kev, let it go, please. I'm appealing to you, Fagon. You let it go. It's okay. It's okay. You just let it go. It's okay.
This thing is not good for the show, gentlemen. You're making this show very personal.
Kev.
They may come to defend his side.
Kev Hassan.
Preach my politics.
Kev Hassan, make the case. Let's talk about.
Let's talk about. Get back on the topic and let it get me so big.
Please.
We can't talk politics. You just decide to ruin my repetition with lies.
You know when I was talking to with Solomon to ask that question, we were going intelligently that we're having a good program. Came in, attacked me. To spell macro stability.
I asked you to spell and define because there are two Kev.
Fagon, give him a chance to talk. It's not your turn, Fagon. Let Kev speak. But Fagon, you were not interrupting whenever he tried to say something. Give him. No. Don't. You want to tell me what to tell? Let the man speak. He got his 2 minutes. Kev Hassan, please continue, please. We got to move on.
You know. Let me say this: if they can show the text, see it. He talking about 1 year. This thing just happened November 17. James,
this is so Kev Hassan. This is what I would do. Give him a few seconds. A text message, guys, between Snow and Fagon, for the sake of our program, when Snow appear on the show, Snow should reveal the text message, or Fagon can challenge Snow to 8.
Thank you.
We ask you, Kev, let's back off. The text message was between Snow and Fagon. Let's move down to our discussion for the day, please. And I hope everyone, we are not going back to that text message. We will not use our mouth to chew Snow pepper. We will allow Snow to make the case. If you have any issue with Fagon, he's welcome on the show. So please, for the sake of our audience, let's move on, please.
I respect that, and let's respect. Very respect the platform, and let's go further.
Thank you,
guys. When I talk about first round, it's based on what's happening in the country right now. they have the old saying that say if the Christmas will be good at the eve. Nothing happening from the opposition side. You're not saying you remember the midterm election 2020. You remember what happened everywhere. The opposition go, you will see the town shaking, the country shaking, everything, but nothing happening. Where the traction coming from? McGill into Bagibi. You saw crowd, people shaking. Even when the camera went off, people start saying, "We will vote for Bagill. We will vote for CDC." The tips are there. We can play it. Even when the camera went off, from Spoon, people rushing to Spoon. 2020, we saw that. We saw the town was shaking for Dillon and the opposition. Now you're not seeing it. When they beat on this president, of the length of time when the president arrived in the country, you saw the power. When we look at the election and we look at the map, I'm trying to figure out where the vote coming from for the opposition to win this election. Where the vote coming from? The only thing they will say, "Oh, John Manuel, we ain't do X, ain't do P, ain't do this, ain't do that." Where the vote coming from? So based on what the people saying as we speak right now, with evidence. For example, people say, "Oh, the president a president got commitment," and the government saying, in 2019 we had commitment for the MRA hospital. Yeah. We had commitment for the PAC at PHP. Yeah, they're fixing. We had commitment for the hospital in Riverside. Yeah, there. So the government can show that we got something, but the opposition not telling you what they can do better. They're not telling the Liberian people nothing. And when when voters, not only in Liberia, when voters is not hearing from you, what can you do better? You will say, "I will create a job." How? "Oh, I will take the money from the vice president office." Is that enough? Is that enough? 1.5 million. You say that's what they get to the vice president. Is that enough? Remember, guys, Liberia went 100 years back when the war hit Liberia. For every deal we're going through, for every investors we're trying to talk to, we are negotiating for the point of weakness, not strength. Because Liberia is not a country that you can sit on the table and tell investors, "Oh, come there tomorrow." Not only Liberia, Sierra Leone, every war country, you're not negotiating from the point of strength anymore. So how can you come, "Oh, I will bring this person"? No. So what they're doing is they're not telling you how. How can you convince investors? How many jobs you think that investors and will bring? But if you had that power, like the ANC comments, if you have that power, why you have to wait until you become president before you bring investors? Because Liberia need it now. Liberia need it now.
Thank
So
you,
you're telling me if you don't win the election, you will not bring investors. So if you have the know-how, why you not bringing people now? Why you not bringing people when you lost the election 5 years ago?
Thank you very much, Kev. Thank you.
See, that's why I think the Liberian people are so smart enough
Well,
to know that.
you answered a valid question. I believe maybe one of the guys on the set will answer you. But I think those questions are very strong. So let's go around the block, and then we can open the full line. I reserve my comment because we ran out of time, and I hope you guys just make it real short. If you have any other discussion, just bring it up now, because we passed the 2 hours. Salamatu, let's come to you.
The only thing we can continue to say to the Liberian people, you know your struggles, you know your pain, you know your pleasure. For the past 5-6 years, if life has been great for you, when you go to the polls, you bring a man back. We do understand that a lot of times when we talk into the general population, no, they're not thinking about things like good governance. And then when they turn around, the good governance that we say this government is lacking, when the way it starts to bite the regular Liberians in the butt, that by these concession deals that come through and there's no check and balance. There's only people criticizing what the other man did. They're not looking at what they're doing with the same concession agreements they're signing. So if you're happy with people taking your livelihood, if you're happy not getting paid on time, because it's not a normal thing to get paid 3 months later. It's not normal. That's not a normal thing. You shouldn't be celebrating when the people ain't pay you 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and when they finally pay you for the 4th month, then you start celebrating. It's not normal. That's not how people are supposed to be living. When you go to work, you have an agreement with your employer, in this case, the government. They're supposed to pay you on a certain date. They're not supposed to wait 1 month, 2 months. Meanwhile, the top guys, all of them are coming on here and they on the show talking about the economy is great. They're getting paid on time. They're not missing any of their paycheck. Now the little people there at the bottom, they're not getting paid. So if you like that kind of pay system where every other month you get paid, you may know you get paid, then vote for them. Some of the things I know for being on the ground, what I experienced is that, one, there was a lot of deals that came in and was signed by hook and crook. I keep going back to the CTN at the Port Authority, the cargo tracking number. That today there are certain foreigners who were deported illegally. Kev, they were deported. Our foreign national. Now, not they say they were deported and they're still out of the country because of this cargo tracking agreement that was given to the GTMS company that was literally kicked out of Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone told the people, y'all can't do business here, y'all corrupt. And the people came to Liberia under this administration and they signed a deal with this company. And when they signed a deal with this company, a lot of the issues at the port, it escalated again. So if you're happy with things like that, let it go. Now we're talking about this same Western Ulster agreement, where now we go into the extent of people within the area, they're getting sick. Instead of the government saying, you know what, this is very alarming, we need to go check, we need to go see, we're making excuses again. Oh, that Ellen brought the company here. Then we start lying. We say, well, yeah, they need it's called Ellen Nito. That Ellen. Then we put the blame on it. Instead of telling the Liberian people, you know what? We need to look at this deal. We need to see how it's benefiting the Liberian people. If people are getting sick, it should set off an alarm. We're not hearing anything from the government doing that. All we're hearing are just people making excuses for what's happening and blaming it on somebody else. We talk about accountability. There were top level officials who got access because we decided not to use the PPCC system, there were top level government officials that got government contract without going through the bidding process. And some of them decided to play in LEC on the cover, take contracts from LEC without going through a PPCC process. Yeah, I would not call names because I would use the word allegedly. We were on the ground. We were on the ground talking to a lot of the people who work at LEC, who told us, we can't come to your house to fix transformer. We can't come to your house to your neighborhood to install the pole. Because right now we're doing work for ABC person. This other person here. We also saw the international community, the Americans step in and say, you know what, this is too much. We are going to put sanctions on your top level official. Our Solicitor General, the man who's supposed to be doing law and order for us, who's supposed to be holding people accountable. Another government, the government who is actually giving us the most aid, decided, you know what, we don't trust him. We're putting international sanctions on him. We haven't pulled none of these people to say, you know, let's get facts. Why would America put sanctions on our people? Let's investigate so we can clear the name. We do none of that. We let them resign. One of them out of the country. I mean, there's no accountability. It's not personal. And you keep asking, what will the opposition do? The opposition is saying what you're doing right now will do the complete opposite of it. We'll make sure people get paid. We will stand up for good governance. We will hold people accountable. We will be transparent. And we do agree. That's a lot of work the opposition got to do. That's a lot of work. I mean, as Ben was talking, I was just sitting here. I wanted to turn my camera off and start dancing a little bit because it doesn't sound sweet. You know, we're not coming here and saying, oh, yes, we got this one person. All of us are behind this person. The opposition is divided right now. But we are still opposition. We're splitting votes against Josh Weah. I campaigned for Joseph Boycott the last election. I don't believe in crowds because we had one of the largest crowds I think Moreover had ever seen just before election. I stood on the floor for 12 hours in the rain, flipping and sliding on the truck.
Yeah, when y'all used to be dealing with us. Yeah.
I said, yeah, that's not you. Behold, it's not the crowd. People can come, they will take t-shirt, they will take bag of rice, they will cheer for you. Yay! When it's time to vote, that's different story.
Yep.
Different story. The opposition needs to come together. They need to come together. They need to go sit in one room. They need to fight it out. Whatever agreement they need to come together. Because again, as much as we may have all of these issues with the current administration, Ben, you're right. Josh, they're not easy person to whip.
I'm glad somebody else saying this also.
I don't think it's that easy. He's not an easy person to beat. I had a conversation with someone the last time. They were talking, oh, you know, the thing like Liberia is bad. We tired of suffering. I said, you know, perhaps maybe the people definition of suffering is very different than you and I. Because you talk to one person, the definition of suffering is war. As long as there's no war, they're fine. You talk to another person, the definition that, oh, we got rice, or we're paying too much money for rice. Everybody's definition of suffering is a little difficult. It's very different. My level of suffering is very different. I'm always looking at the governance issue, the policies, because I know a lot of these things, it drives everything else. And nothing else will get fixed until we have good policies, until we're holding people accountable, until we're transparent. And the average man, yeah, all those in there.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. If everything is fine, I beg you, yeah. I'm looking for a job in government. I'm not looking for a job in government. Yeah. I'm quite okay. So if you're fine, go vote for what's happening now.
Thank you very much. Is that something from the Liberty Party camp? When you talk, then your answer, you say yeah. Your talk, then your answer, you say yeah.
Mr. Being prejudiced.
Listen, but it's okay. Sentiment, Josh.
Yes, I will be honest with you. You guys are saying the thing that we've been saying. Asking the people. When I talk to the ANC, the Bugger people, everybody. I said, "What your pathway to the presidency?" The President ANC. I ask them that question a lot of time. They say, "Wait, the next 60 days, you'll see what happened." So I'm guessing the next 60 days are true. If I don't see the pathway, then we'll be telling them, y'all got to put on him if you're serious. Because if you guys are gonna be playing that tabata, then President Weah's second term will just be almost like a guarantee. Just as Ben was saying, I think somebody said it. Just a typical example. During the senatorial election, we all came together. That's what you did. The first time they don't that in 2020, before 2020, the margin was smaller. When he went 2020, it grew. Even the president owns place he living. He lost that. They beat him in that era, rehab there. So this is what beating there. So I mean, what's taking us to think the same way now? Do well, but instead they want. I mean, let me tell you something. Like people believe in all these speeches every day. I give them the message. Just even put it talking whole day. People don't care for that thing. There. People care about engaging in the issues. I mean, I know the strategy, but y'all got to really come up with your strategy to tell how y'all get to the presidency. Because for the way I see things going, so like the process of elimination starting. But I will wait. I want year Bugger running mate and Cummings running mate. When I hear the running mate, I will come back to give more and more on this issue. But right now, the last poll I saw this morning, I think President Bugger and President Weah and Bugger, they are okay. The last poll. There's something they call
What's the poll? What's the poll?
The voter perception survey. I'm coming. The voter perception survey that came up recently.
Who did it?
Quietly. I won't get involved. They'll still reveal it.
Look,
I will not reveal it to the people like bro. From what I'm saying, the President Weah still has a chance at the presidency. We'll fly close by Bugger. I'm telling you guys. But for yes, the thing I keep on of that poll. Bugger leads the most of the country. But anyway, I'm telling you true. Guys, I'm being honest with you. I'm independent. I'll give my independent analysis. I'll be the most objective and consistent voice of reasoning on this platform. Thank you.
Anybody who's independent, you gotta be announcing that.
Thank you very much. You understand that. We understand that we get the maverick, the student of history, we get the independent, the man of have consistent voice of reasoning. We're gonna get more of these different names and types coming up. The data from Liberia, can you talk to us, Dr. Richardson?
So over the years, there are a few things that I have observed about our country. And one is,
I think, guys, we should try to take a class under Dr. Richardson one of these semesters.
I
like how she get a style conversation. Yeah. It's not going to be fun. But go ahead, Dr. Richardson.
So sometimes when I come here and I hear some of us sort of describe our country in such a monolithic way, which means that there's only one group of people. So only one set of messaging will fit, this one group of people. But the reality is there isn't. I'm here. I've seen people in different status, different areas. I've seen people who, like Salamata described, their suffering is described differently. I've seen people who have normalized suffering. In fact, the bulk of the country have normalized suffering. They think the interruption in services is okay. They think not getting paid and still going to work for months and months is okay. So when you have a general message such as Liberia deserve better, which I think we all can agree to that, we do deserve better. You know, when you hear Mr. Cummings speak, he will tell you that we are no different. We are not less smarter than the people in Ghana, in Ivory Coast, in Sierra Leone. But look at our country. Look at the way it is. And many of the people in our country, you know, I have a girlfriend who actually, her job is to show people what other countries look like visually. Because talking obviously doesn't do it. When they can see how far behind we are, when they can see there's toilet water running, when you flip a light on and flip the thing, that it can happen in Liberia too, it makes a difference. So we have to continue to make our case to the Liberian people, all of us. We can't say, you know, Liberian people, they want to hear one message. You got to go door to door and see who you're talking to, something that I'm experiencing right now. And everybody I meet, my message to them, you know, depending on where they are. And that's the strategy that we have to develop for our country. And overall, to answer people what we would do differently, just off the bat, strengthen the security sector of the country. We know that's the weakest link in our country right now. And how do you do that? Because I know that will be my brother Kev next question. Increase the salary. Anytime you increase the salary, the job become attractive to people. Training of the people. Why you laughing, Stenta? Because I switch my accent right there, right? Training. Okay, training of the people will be of the police, the judges, the security apparatus will be greatly helped. I'll tell you an experience. Last night, and see, this is our security. Last night around 3 or 4 o'clock, you know, there's 3 women in this apartment that we in here. We decided for safety reasons to sleep in the same room.
Which apartment?
I'm not talking.
Oh.
I'm talking nothing bad.
Ben, Ben, are you again?
Let me stop you.
Ben, are you again?
In the morning. One of my colleagues decides that we heard the dog barking, and the security system like brought our dog, the alarm system that the dog, which is again interesting compared to the country that you live in. Our dogs sleep in our beds, yeah, right? For those of you telling your dog sleep in the house, you buy good food, take your dog to the vet. But in this part of the world, the dog is our alarm system. So one of my colleagues who is very inquisitive, we nicknamed her last night, investigative journalist, decided to come outside. 3 o'clock in the morning, we have a push to go find out what's going on. And so not being a sound sleeper because I'm not home, I woke up. My other colleague decided that she was going to follow her outside. 3 o'clock in the morning, people are singing roll, roll, and doing mob justice to someone. That is our security system. That is our security system. We have to learn to enforce the law. And so, interesting, so my investigative journalists decide to go ask the people a question. 3 o'clock in the morning, what y'all doing here? So I asked, that's not a place right now. You kind of blowing out top. The people say, the people are stranger. I want to ask you what we're doing, man. So we came back in the house. But we got to enforce the law. You can't call 911. That's what we learned. Nobody will come. So the people will take the law into their own hand. This is our weakest link, the security system. Once we empower our security system, our security apparatus, then we can go out. Mr. Cummings is the perfect person to solicit investors to come into our country. Okay, he has that connection to the outside world. They love him. He's gonna be second to the darling of the West, as we knew Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to be. And so he has connection, he has experience, and if we can get our security sector right, we can ask these investors to come in. They can work in 2 ways, independently and dependently. They can come in and bring their own factory and set it up here, or they can partner with Liberians, and that's what we wish that they would do. They can do something simple, like, virtual telemarketing. You know how when you call in America, you call help for your computer, somebody in India can answer? Liberians can be trained to do that work. Liberians can be trained to do that work. lots of smart Liberians here to do that work. That's just one example, Kev. If you ask us what we'll do differently, our soil is very fertile for agriculture. We can plant our own rice. They can come in here.
Dr. Richardson, we ran out of time. Keep the other agenda for what you would do for tomorrow's show, please. I'm begging you. We still got 4 of the guys have not spoken, please. After your global story and your private security story, please. I understand that you're in Liberia, it's 10:05, but we really got to go.
You cutting me off.
I understand. I know, please. Forgive me.
Yeah, we go again, the same thing.
So
and I made a lot of effort to be on this show, by the way, so let me just say that.
I know that.
I'm actually spending data to be on this show. So
yes,
if you have a choice, I can save my data and just go, which I don't mind, or I can stay and finish my thought. Your choice. That's the
So Dr. Richardson, I don't know what's the change, but you're not going anywhere. We just said we'll get back to you, please. We'll
okay, now
right you will have the last word. Just be patient. Let's hear from the rest of the guys, okay? Please. All right, Chairman Ben.
Oh, it's me. So listen, we have how many more days we got the election?
Yeah, how many more days to money?
Just check on NEC website.
480.
Check on NEC website quick, and then you get to us quick. Yeah.
Now, man, talk like y'all get to money out there.
Because you do that NEC website, you can go to.
Get talking about it.
There you go. By the way, his internet are working good. But let me say this. It's going to be an interesting election. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. There's some similarities in this election to past elections, but this election is in its own league. The CDC as an opposition party was very vocal, was very aggressive. The CDC as an opposition party was very difficult to defeat. The CDC is now the ruling party. They now have a record. They're no longer running on hope for change. They now have a record that people can go back to and say, this is what you have accomplished, and we're going to grade you on this. The problem that I continue to say with our side of the fence is that we fed, it's almost like a baby. We fed this baby. They got baby food, and they can sell in the supermarket in Liberia. Beach nut, right? I think they get the different ones. They get carrots. They got different ones, right? The opposition actually started feeding its baby beach nut.
Who's buying baby food at all?
Tommy, you don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. What status style are you? I just wanted you here first. Because we are still on the same page today, just so you know. Okay, but let me say this: the opposition started. The opposition started giving beach nut, right? And then ultimately decided to switch to Cerelac and expect that this baby is just going to wake up and don't cry. And I'm laughing because I see a lot of the folks on both sides of the divide within the opposition claiming, oh yeah, Ben, you see decent, you to do certain things, all that craziness. Newsflash. When I decide to do things, I do things. So that's not the issue here. The issue here is people need to speak truth to power. A lot of us have created our own reality. We are stuck in our own mindset. Our reality knowing that this is what we want to happen. So even if it's not happening, we say, oh, it will happen. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting another result. You may not like to hear it, but it is the fact. It is the fact that until these leaders, the last time I checked, it was Joseph Boyka, Alex Cummings, Tewan Gonglo, who wanted to be president of Liberia. You cannot blame it on the average person or on the average supporter. The average supporter will do what they need to do. I'm calling on these men to muster the courage and start to have the hard conversations, because that conversation has never been held. Whatever that conversation may be, start to have it now. Start. Because that conversation has never been held. What we had in 2020, guys, was easy. Coalitions are always easy in legislative elections. Always easy. In fact, legislative candidates are the ones who benefit the most from coalitions. Because nobody at that point in time thinking about the executive mansion. The critical mass and the critical question are asked because when the different competing interests comes and they start to align head to head. I will say this again. If you believe that what we have today, as it stands today, the status quo, as we see it today, this playing field, forget about the Senators playbook that Fagon talked about. Forget about all the other playbooks, they would be and could be and should be. If we believe what we have today is a recipe to success, you need 3 dirty slaps to be put in your ear. Arrest.
Hey!
Where is that to Peabody?
I didn't see that one coming.
Hey!
What's the recipe? It's a lot. $20,000 road funds got missing. President traveled out of the country for 48 days. The Western Cluster deal. These are areas where you can make compelling cases against this government. Very compelling. We can argue this case to the Liberian people against this government. You have the recipe in your hand. It's just how you put it together. The people in the village, my married children, aware that the road fund, the reason why Ralphie got the deep hole in there is because 20 million got missing and the people are not included for the road. The reason why the roads have been broken and bummy is because they have a deal that they don't benefit from. Man, you got the case. You got a case to defend, but the opposition are not utilizing this. They're not utilizing. They got a lot of stuff they can challenge the president on. But this is my question. My married children, do they understand what's going on? Do they know what is taking place in the country? Or is just somebody coming again 1 year or 2 months before election? Oh, we're giving you the light. Yeah, whoa, we're sending 5,000 bags of lights. We're building one hand pump. Then the whole village will have water. But you've been sitting in that village for the last decade or more, drinking the same water from the creek. But because somebody want to be a representative president, he's coming all of that. They need to build a case. The opposition have the tools, but are they using it right? They need to stop criticizing each other. Stop doing that. All of you should speak with one voice. Even if you don't support Mr. Boyka, you don't support Mr. Cumming, just speak with one voice. Your duty is to oppose and criticize this government, not to criticize each other. Then you can't stand. You have the tools in your hand. There's a lot of things that are happening over the last 5 years that you can build a whole pamphlet of and defend yourself. But you're not using it. It's in your hand, but you're not using it. It's time that you put your act together. Go around. Have some of your messages go in the different vernacular so Liberians can get it. This is how we voting. Oh, this. There's one got missing. That money got missing. There's still the other one. You don't gotta know how to Those are things that will help you. You have it. Put the tools together and roll it every day. That's the only way you can engage this man. But let my married children understand it as well in the villages. They need to understand what is going on. The problem is our opposition are not able to explain to the people what is going on. For that reason, people will settle for bread and butter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Buzz. Appreciate it. Mr. Lamine, Fagon.
Yes, sir. Thank you, CEO. Anyway, CEO, I believe you invited me on this platform owing to my performance in 2017, my experience in government over 3.5 years, and what I do and do best. I think Ben will be my witness in this case when they came up with the integrity team. I looked at the integrity team and put them on the blackboard. And I dismantled them one by one. It didn't mean I didn't like them. It was politics. My side had to win. So I had to pick them apart so my side can win. Today, me and Ben is great friends. Fanatic Kofa, Ability, all those people we talk, we're friends. I will never put my feelings into politics. 37 years have taught me better. And so when I sit on the panel, I want to discuss the issue. So when somebody says to me that President Weah will win in the first round because of macroeconomic stability, as an educated man, it is not my place to attack them. But because the words micro and macro sound almost alike, but it's different. One has to do with factors, CEO, and the decisions the individual make, the impact on the individual. The other one has to do with large scales and general economics that has to do with PBT, interest rate, to productivity. You see Dr. Francine shaking her head? So when you said he will win because of that, I ask you, which one you talking about? Because in a macro I would say it will be hard. Because yeah, I see a meter there. 15 years, they not even pay toilet. Yeah, Western cluster there. If they were human being used to you're going to kill them. That's macro. The people who support the vote are individuals. That is micro. Because it has to do with the small things and the individual. So maybe my school putting me in trouble. But that's why you brought me here. So if you tell me which one you're talking about, then I'm able to speak to it. But as long as I'm on this platform, nothing will pass by my eyeball as bad about me. If I say I will fight you on the issue, it will be about the issue. I will never come on your platform and bring personal thing in. But the reputation I have built for myself for 37 years, that's why I send you those stuff. For someone to come and attack my reputation because we're fighting for Western cluster to do better. What that one got to do with macro and macro? That 2 SNRT, I know it. And you don't want nobody to attack it. But I'm here to say tonight that I have come, I am a sedition. And I want you in particular, Stanton, to know that child we're talking about, we don't want Pune. And the people are always fooling President Weah. If I ask President Weah, you popular, you dare so, why we win any meeting, by-election, or special election? President Weah tell me. Then you put Polito Weah here up. Then you put John Josiah here up. Who here in that put up? They beat us. All the crowd we march with, I'm saying the picture, they beat us. And I said it. Rodney C.A. is my witness. I will look for the newspaper and send it to you. I said, if people think that people will vote for President Weah on the basis of popularity, excuse what I said, And the newspaper quoted me. I said, tell them, say, Fagon say, you damn lie. And Front Page Africa carry a front page story. That was when I thought President Weah would have fired me. But he got up from his seat and decided to go around. And what he saw was terrible. We come here to these elections and people telling you how they will win in first round. The people that were with you in 2017, are they with you now? They all gone. The MPP and the LPDP, why have they not signed since October? Because they are making demands. What did Prince Johnson say? Why we want to fool George Weah? Me, I will not betray that man. I will never fool him. Because I know where the meetings are. I know what they do. I hear everything. And I know who a double agent is. A political double agent was planted into the CPP to make sure that it never held and that it was destroyed. Mission accomplished 80% of the way. So why you won't come and fool him? The macroeconomics is strong. How can macroeconomics be strong for voters? When they're making $45, you know about it. All of you know about it. They may pay for 3 months. That $105 maybe, I think. Then after he not credit to survive, you rush, you pay him 3 months. That he want to cover who, my brother. You call a man money by 50%. Then you raise taxes on him. That macroeconomics or macroeconomics. You turn around. The thing the man used to buy for $13, he paying $25 for it now. That macroeconomics or macroeconomics. The gasoline the man used to buy $3.50, he paying $5.20 for it now. That macroeconomics. And now we made a poor vote. I'm not going to go full President Weah to tell him say you will win first round. That lie. All the people that came with President Weah, did he get a job? Are their lives better? No. All the people that came with President Weah, he left them behind. The United Party friends he had, he appointed all of them. My dear brother, I will be the last man to betray President Weah. And I was minister, the newspaper there, when I told him, imagine now, I'm minister saying now in America. It's my duty to tell him that this election is your elections to lose. But guess what? That Stanton can tell you that thing. Mawani Dix, great woman, lovely woman. But how many people you think Mawani Dix can bring to CDC? Pisota, she was very young when they brought her to America, refugee town. That grandchildren should go win there. Eugene Nangbe, how many people you give President Weah? Ledger who Rennie, how many people? Jenny Bernard, how many people? Van Barnos, Social Security, how many people? I'm not saying they are bad people. They are all good people. But these are people that have earned from their work now. What they can do, they don't have political capital, Stanton. So they will only donate to the campaign. But the foot soldiers are all gone. Ask Ben Sambi, as chairman, what that means. He showed me his 45 cars and his beautiful party headquarters. Ben, how many motor by your heart?
Peter, leave me alone.
Kanyo Bala and Manipaga Dumont. They put their microphone down and walk out of the studio. That was when I was called. Did I win election for Benin? It took the campaigners to destroy the integrity team. So I'm saying to you, people will fool you. But I'm closing on this note to say to you, if you wake up tomorrow morning and you hear that Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kuhn have formed a coalition with Joseph Numa Boaka, and Nyombli have consented. Delon is already the chief campaigner. My brother, say goodbye to the election. Run anywhere you want to run. Because numbers don't lie. George Weah will not win Monserrato in the first round, period. And Nimba, Bong, and Lofa plus Monserrato, forget it. Bapolu did not go George Weah way in 2017. Those people will go with their people, their uncle there again. Snow is a UPist. He's from UP. He only resigned because they said they will not allow him to contest. Tyler is from UP. LPDP, he was not treated fairly. Vanny Shemo, I don't need to tell you. Stanton, numbers, that's why when we make our analysis and we hear somebody telling President Weah it's a first round, then they have not been around. The CDC brand, my brother, is destroyed. That's why special election, wash my finger, they flog us. By election, they flog us. Midterm, they flog us. Now we go into the presidential. And I'm hearing the people saying, hey, first round. If I hear that thing from any sedition, you will feel my pain. Thank you.
But what kind of pain you got? Man, thank you very much, Paco.
You know
they are free. Well, so guys, yeah, we are real quick. Let's take some questions. Callers. Oh no, Kev, you didn't. Go ahead, Kev. Yeah, you didn't. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Let's finish with you. Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah, I said the other day on the show on New Year, I think it was a New Year Eve show. I said, if people think that branding me or calling me names, they're going to slow me down, you're going to get careful on the steroid. I would go on and on because I don't support this president based on anything, kickback or everything. I support this president because of the conviction that I feel, that I know, that I believe in this president. I would support this president with everything because I believe this president is right for this country. This is not about friendship. This is not about knowing who, but I will support this president because I believe in the vision of this president. So I can be beaten. You will beat on me. You will call me names. And one thing I agree with Tommy Lee George, he said it's gonna be nasty in the election year. And I think I'm geared up for that. I'm strong for that. This will not be the last. This will not, so long election coming, people will hit you hard for all angles. They will call you the devil, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay for somebody to hit on you. Your feelings. Once you're trying, or once you're supporting a person, or you fighting for what you believe in, people will hit you hard. People will call you names. People will say stuff. But I think it's okay. I think if you get mad because people saying stuff, then you're not ready for the battle. The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. That's my belief. I believe it's not easy. People insult me every day on our live feed. People say they send things to me in my inbox. But I believe come October, I will smile, I will laugh, I will dance. Because I know when the government first year, there was huge challenges, huge one. People were not taking pay, a lot of stuff. Met a broke country, and they stabilized that ship under the leadership and the vision of this president. I will fight for him. Stabilize it. When Chairman Ben Savitt explained on this show, I'm sorry, Ben, I have to say that he lost his father because of lack of oxygen. And this president have 2 oxygen plants in the country today. I will fight for him. You can call me names. You can call me this. You can tell me I'm this person. I will fight for him. Because somebody out there who need oxygen will live. I will fight for him. You can say all you want to say. The only country that I know in my life and I love so much is the Republic of Liberia. That's the only country I know that I love. That's the only country I know. So you can call me any names, but I love my people. I know what Liberia means to me. I love that country. So I will fight for who love Liberia. We will do it. What Stanton took me back to Liberia was the greatest day in my life. Greatest day in my life. You all saw how I was happy. To see that country.
Yeah, we are for the first time. And
After
that.
Yeah.
After over 30 years, when we're living Liberia, we were slept in ambush. We walked through the Gola forest. So because of my allegiance, because of my fight in me for this president, people call me names. People hate on me. A certain gathering, I can't go there. I cannot walk freely. I cannot go to certain party. My life changed because of this president. I cannot go certain places. The only place I go and feel free, even though she's a position, Maka. I go there, I feel free. I met Salimatu then, they treated me well. I can say that, but I cannot go places. I met Dr. Richardson. She's an opposition. She and her husband treated me well. But certain places I cannot go because of the support of my president. I went in Ben home. You know, CEO is like my family, my blood family now with his family. So I don't even talk. Tomlin, we argue on the show. He's my guy. But Dr. Peabody, you know from the beginning of this show. I love my Spoon guys. I trust them. They can hit me because it's politics. But after the show, I can pick up phone and Dr. Peabody will laugh. But we got to be careful and understand that some of us fighting because of what we believe in. Mr. Cummings said in America, first round. That's what he believed. Who am I to tell Mr. Cummings, don't say that? The Buckeye team, they said, first round. Why, if I say first round of Mike, I should be treated differently? But you know what? I will not back down. I will fight for what I believe. If end of the day, I lose, so be it. The Liberian people speak. But I believe I will come out strong. I believe we will win this election. And I believe we'll win the first round. I believe it from the bottom of my heart. I believe it. When I sit in front of the president, what I saw a man who loved this country. I saw a man who loved this country. People can say all you want to say, but this man who has a history of loving Liberia. He was the only shining star that I know. That when we're arrested in Conakry, Guinea, they call us the Scorpion Unit for Prince Johnson, we were free because of George Manuel Weah. Say he from Liberia. When me and my friends were sitting down in Sierra Leone, one of them called Putu Said, where the SSD came, we were free because of George Manuel Weah. A lot of Liberians do carry that same story. I will fight for this man, and I will fight with everything because I love him, because I know he cares. And I'm speaking through my heart. So I will never have thick skin. You can call me any name. You can tell me that, and I was the first guy in Butu 06. But I will never stop supporting this president because I know under this president, Liberia will be great again. Thank you, guys. I rest.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Our sister, Dr. Richardson, I say you're going to finish up. You pass. Or you won't finish your thoughts.
It is
Thank
11,
you.
more than
38.
11 o'clock where I am, 11:38. So,
yes,
I don't care to do that now.
So we'll owe it to you tomorrow. We want to say thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. Kev, the Bible says in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7. I will be reading from the King James Version this evening. It's chapter 4, verse 7 through 8. And I hope after the election, October 11, we all can sit together and laugh and drink, if you can drink, and speak truth and go back in history and remind ourselves, say, yes, it is but over, but we are all Liberians and we remain Liberians. I want to encourage everyone. There's something new about me in this new year, and I pray to keep it up. I'll take no side. I will have no fish to fry. But I will speak to the Liberian people because this is the right thing. I hope, Kev, as you continue on this path, I want to say to you, you should be like what Paul said to Timothy. And Timothy said this likewise. He said, I have fought a good fight.
Preach, brother. Preach.
I've kept the faith.
Man of God.
Now, here's the important thing. And I hope seditions are listening. And you will say, henceforth,
what a Bible believe.
There is laid up for me the crown of righteousness.
Target.
Henceforth, and that the people know this. There is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me on that day. I hope when citizens win this battle, Kev, they remember you. You are a man. You are a good man. I will say this to you. They can beat you. They can insult you. They will criticize you. They will say all manner of evil falsely for what you believe in. But I like your persistency and I will encourage you. Be humble. And I pray to God that CDC remembered you. I have seen no one sedition, whether a true blood sedition, a founding member sedition, or the sedition that Johnny just come, that will withstand the attack from the opposition like you do on the show. I feel your pain. I share your sorrow. But I will remind everyone, Kev is fighting for what he believes in. He's believing. I hope for your political party, be the Kev to your political party. Be the Kev to your own belief. The rain, the sun, the ups, the down, you will hold on to that principle and belief of your political party. Swerve not to the right or the left, but be the convincing proof that even in death, you will die upholding the truth of your party. So again, my brother, I would say, continue fighting this good fight. I've seen no man like that.
Yeah.
Continue fighting the good fight. Continue believing in what you believe in. But I will encourage the president and everyone around him to reward you duly if victory come in the morning. On that day and on that day, if CDC shall win this election, I pray you be standing by the president during his inauguration to celebrate. I pray they do not forget you, not forsake you, because you have gone through a lot and more is to come. But be strong. Be strong, my brother. To all of our followers, I want to say thank you for being part of the show.
Amen.
Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for taking your position. We are marching towards election October 10th. It may be it's a rocky road. It will not even be. It would be. The Bible says, Isaiah 35. There will be a highway there to this election.
My man, everybody said to know.
You will see the friends.
The pastor didn't choose.
No. There will be a time, and the upper room know this. There will be a time.
The true color as a pastor.
No. It's not.
I'm glad you've been so long. I'm glad you're coming out of the shower.
No. That's the people that don't do this. I beg you. Let me do my closing, please. Because we have to encourage everyone. Friends will be enemies, and enemies will be friends.
That's true.
That's what we are walking towards. Okay, no hard feelings.
Yep.
We will all meet again after the election. No hard feelings. If I go and kept going after, they're about to call each other after the show. They are brothers, folks. No hard feelings. would do this till election day. And the right man, the just man, the right woman, the just woman, the woman of faith and courage, the man of faith and courage will come to lead Liberia again. Thank you for joining us. Till we meet again tomorrow, may the good Lord be with you. May the Lord keep you. And may the Lord bless our country. Have a good evening.
Come in and call him and phone him. Call him phone him. Call him.
Amen.
Come in and call him phone him.
Perry.
Let the church pray.
From the panel. I want my birthday. William Perry, happy birthday,
Let's go pray here.
buddy.
See you guys.
Good night.
Amen. Madu, I will call you.
All right.
Friday the South Band. Charges on the beat.
Well, folks, we want to say thanks a lot to all of you out there for being a part of this edition of the program Spoon Talk. Thanks to those of you making your comment, your contributions in the comment section. Thanks to those of you who sat by the radio listening. The invitation is yours to join this station or any of the mediums through which you've been following tomorrow for another edition of the program Spoon Talk. So until that time, have for yourselves a good night. My name is Nelson Collier. Of course, I've been here with James Good, the Flomo, coordinating from the back end. Have for yourselves a good night and bye-bye for now.
You want to get a news update?